Traffic is treacherous.
There's a fender bender on the pike.
Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jam up. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot.
You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Choosing T-Mobile is like paying for this, but getting that. And so much more. More 5G bars in more places. More savings so your family saves 20% versus the other guys. And we won't raise the price of your rate plan with our price lock guarantee. Get more with T-Mobile. More 5G coverage, more savings, and even more cool stuff.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
UFO's Active Recovery. Because life keeps you on your toes. Because you want to shine when you rise. UFOam technology absorbs impact with every step, so your body doesn't have to. Because standing still gets you nowhere. Get yours today at ufos.com. Feel better. Feel the U.
Bronk,
What up, TB?
what do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you. Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GO in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
And we are live from Lowell Park, the side of a 4th of July weekend rivalry showdown. I'm Drake Toll alongside Zach Berman and Austin Dakuda at the Tim Elstrom broadcast booth as your 10-5-3 Hyannis Harbor Hawks meet the 13-2-3 Cotuit Kettleers. And we're going to take it to the field immediately for the national anthem. another beautiful rendition of the national anthem in Austin. The Harbor Hawks are fighting at one point this season for 500, and now they trail the league leader Cotuit by just 3 games. It's a big holiday weekend that could change everything for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, coming into the game at 10-5-3, which sounds like a crazy number compared to what they were last season. You know, just 8 wins throughout the 2021 season. You come into 2022, Drake, they were a little bit below 500 at 3-5 and a tie at one point in the year, but they've really battled back. And to see them at 10-5-3 and 7-1-2 in their last 10 is just amazing to see the turnaround for this team and to see exactly what Nick Johnson and Mazdak have already talked about come into play.
We spoke with Coach Eric Beatty about that in the pregame. We'll take it to the dugout show with Eric Beatty now. Drake Toll alongside Coach Beatty here on the pregame dugout show. Coach, the rivalry between Hyannis and Cotuit, for a lot of these guys, I'm sure they had no idea coming in. Is that something that's at play today or something that you even acknowledge?
We've acknowledged it. I've been told a lot about it. My first start was here back when I played, so lots of good memories here of this park. But yeah, we've definitely talked about it a little bit, and I think the guys are ready to play today.
For you, having Fincher on the mound, how much confidence does that give these guys, especially after the performance against Chatham on Sunday?
Fincher's given us a couple of great outings. All of our pitchers have. So our bullpen's hot tonight. We've got a lot of good arms there, but Fincher gives us a chance to win every game, so we feel good.
For you guys last night as well, having all 9 guys in the lineup reach base eventually, I mean, what does that say about this squad's resilience, and was that the most complete game you felt like your guys have put together?
Man, we've played a lot of good baseball, and the thing I'm most proud of last night is we had 2 300 hitters on the bench last night, and we still put up, enough runs to win and win, with a little cushion. So with the quality of players we had on the bench and didn't even need to go to them, it does say a lot about this team and their resilience.
You got a guy across the way on the bump in Cohen who pumps 90-92 on the fastball. What do you expect out of him, and how do you attack early?
I expect him to come out and compete really well and throw a great game. There's a lot of good arms here on both sides and both dugouts, so I think he's going to come at us with everything he's got, and we're going to do the same.
Looking back at the past 9 games and this undefeated streak, for you personally, what do you feel like you've learned over the first 18 games that make a different coach now than you were 18 games ago?
Yeah, winning's hard here. It's really hard, and I'm not taking any of those wins for granted at all. We're going to come out here and still continue to try to pitch well, play great defense, hit the ball well, and base run well. And if we do those 4 things, then we're going to be in a good chance to win every game.
Coach, to round it out, you've obviously played here, now coaching here. What is it like for those who haven't experienced it to be on Cape Cod during 4th of July weekend playing baseball?
There's no better place to be.
I love it. Drake Toll, Eric Beatty, that's the Dugout Show. Back to you guys in the booth. Well, it's almost time for baseball here from Lowell Park as we meet the lineups for the Harbor Hawks. The Cotuit Kettleers have taken to the field, and leading things off for Hyannis from Michigan State. He's the third baseman, Mitch Jebb, followed by Tito Flores, who's in left field today. Then Justin Hyannis in the 3-hole from Illinois playing first base. Nolan Shaniel batting cleanup from FAU and in right field. The 5-hole hitter is Christian Moore, the designated hitter. And the 6th spot, Cole McConnell, center fielder from Louisiana Tech, who had the night off last night, followed up by Pancho Ruiz, who's catching out of San Diego State and batting 7th. In the 8-hole, Dominic Patelli, the shortstop from Miami, and batting 9th from Mount Hood Community College. And transferring to Oregon is Riku Nishida starting at second base. Across the way and on the mound, Zach, for the Cotuit Kettleers is 6-foot-tall, 190-pound Harrison Cohen out of George Washington, whose fastball is going to sit in the low 90s.
Well, we've seen the Hawks struggle in the past with these pitchers that sit low 90s, high 80s. We've talked about Michael Sansone at Wareham that befuzzled these Harbor Hawk hitters. But, hey, this is a different team than we've seen in the past. And, it's fitting. It's Bark at the Park night here in Cotuit, so why not welcome in a team that's got some dog in them with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks coming in on a bit of a heater.
The Cotuit Kettleers and the Harbor Hawks squaring off tonight. And Austin, these are 2 of the top teams in the league, actually 2 of the top 3 teams. The Harbor Hawks only trail YD by a half game from taking that number 2 spot overall, but Cotuit has been nothing short of impeccable this season.
Yeah, they get up to an incredibly hot start, winning their first 7 or so contests, now sitting at 13-2-3. And year in and year out, this team is one of the top in the league, rarely ever miss the playoffs. Mike Roberts here, another long-tenured manager. likes to play small ball. He likes to play baseball, what they call the right way. You know, lots of bunts, moving the runner, and just trying to get productive runs. He's not interested in home runs, and that's partly why Cotuit sits at first place in the West Division and with the best record throughout the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Well, let's play baseball on Cape Cod. Lowell Park plays host to Cotuit and Hyannis, and we're set for the first pitch of the ball game. Harrison Cohen facing Mitch Jebb. Cohen sets the windup, deals, and the first pitch of the game is a 91-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike.
Harrison. Now, Drake, this game, of course, is going to feel a little bit more significant for Mitch Jebb, as it's a bit of a revenge game of sorts.
Jebb, a former Cotuit Kettleer, the 0-1 to him. That is taken for a ball high, and now a 1-1 count. As you can hear, Cotuit fans have made their way all across this ballpark, including right in front of our crowd mic. The 1-1 pitch from Harrison Cohen. Jebb watches his strike at 84 on the off speed. Falls down in the count 1-2.
Well, Cohen's a guy with Cape League experience, and you're seeing him use that experience to help better have success this summer. Spent 2021 with Cotuit, made 11 appearances, and now with their 3 appearances here this summer, just a 1.59 ERA.
The 1-2 to Mitch Jebb. He calls time. He'll get it. Jebb 13 for 43 this season on the Cape. He's got a .302 batting average and 3 RBI out of Michigan State. Followed up in the lineup by probably the best hitter on the Harbor Hawks squad right now, Tito Flores. Now the 1-2 to Jebb. Mitch Jebb skies that one to left field and out of play for a foul ball.
Yeah, Jebb's a guy who in the leadoff spot's not going to strike out a ton. We've mentioned it in previous broadcasts. At school with Michigan State this season, just 1 strikeout every 14 at-bats. So he's going to put the ball in play, which is what you want your leadoff man to do.
Jebb crawls back into the box to face a 1-2 from Cohen. The righty sets and deals, and Mitch Jebb watches a ball high and outside. Cohen at George Washington in the spring was 7-7 overall in 14 starts. Had a decision in every start. 87 1/3 innings. He allowed 82 hits, 38 earned runs. He walked 28, but he struck out 93.
He's got really good stuff, and you can see throughout his career he's really progressed nicely. The jump from last summer in Cotuit with a low mid-5s ERA to now this summer really changing it around.
The 2-2 to Jebb. Jebb hits that one out into left field. Left fielder drifting back and making the catch to record the first out of the ball game. Jebb goes down via flyout, and Tito Flores comes up.
Yeah, Jebb just got under that one a bit. Tried to take it the other way, which is you want to do with an outside pitch, but unfortunately just lifted it up too much, got under the ball, and I mean, he did see a few pitches, put the ball in play, so it's a good start to the game for Jebb. You know, he saw a couple pitches, made good contact, but we'll see how he builds on that later on. And now Tito, as you mentioned, Drake, the best hitter on the team.
Here comes Tito Flores. Flores this season is batting .327 on Cape. In 16 games played, he's had a hit in 15 and reached base in all 16, and he cuts and misses at an off-speed, low and outside, the first pitch he sees from Harrison Cohen.
Tito, of course, also the team leader, should I say, in home runs. Hyannis only comes into this game with 5 home runs. They have shown to be able to win every single way possible except via the power bat. So maybe tonight's the night that wakes up a little bit.
The 0-1 to Flores, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Catches the outside part of the zone, called strike. Flores down 0-2.
You're seeing Cohen attack the outside part of the zone to both left-handed and right-handed hitters with the fastball early in counts. We'll see how he tries to finish hitters when he has them ahead, like he does Tito Flores.
Flores, the team lead, 18 hits on the season. The 0-2, he cuts, misses. The ball's in the glove of the catcher, Mickness, and that sets down the second batter of the Harbor Hawk day.
Well, there's your answer on how he's going to go for the punch-out. It's back to the fastball. 92 there on the inside, right on the hands of Tito Flores. A tough pitch to fight off, and Cohen looks sharp right out of the gate.
Well, now you bring up Justin Hyannis out of Illinois. The lefty stands in. Hyannis on the year batting .263 in the first pitch he sees. Rips that one to the left side of the field. It's botched by the shortstop Ritter, and Justin Hyannis is safe at first base.
Yeah, would have been a tough play for Ritter to make. He had to dive to his right. He ended up on the ground, and they're going to rule it a hit. He wisely decided to eat the ball rather than throw it while he's on the ground. So nice job by Hyannis. He's attacked a lot of pitches early in counts lately, as he did on the first pitch there.
Hyannis trying to spark a 2-out rally, stands at first base and brings FAU's Nolan Shaniel to the plate. Shaniel steps in, scoots all the way up, as close as he can get in the box. And ready for the first pitch he'll see from Cohen. Working from the stretch the first time, deals an 84-mile-an-hour off speed. Shaniel whiffs and misses.
for Hyannis, that's now 4 straight games with a hit for him. He's now hitting 8 of his last 9. So you really want to see this 3-4 middle of the order start to continue producing what they've done as of late. Shaniel starting to heat up at the bat himself.
The 0-1 to Shaniel. Cohen checks, now deals. Shaniel lines that one to the right side. It's a grounder now to Troy. Troy flips over to first. The out is recorded. No runs on the board for the Harbor Hawks, the top of the first. Their MO this season's been scoring quick. They couldn't put it together there. Now Cotuit will get their shot with 1, 2, and 3 up the bottom of the first. And we're going to take it to Bria Losick and her pregame interview.
Have you made any adjustments?
It's
Alongside Dominic Patelli from Miami. Dominic, lately you've had a little bit more success at the plate. Have you made any adjustments?
It's definitely hard to hit in this league. This is a good pitching league, but just trying to slow things down and just try to put things in play and let things happen.
Well, this is the first time that you're playing here at Lowell Park, facing your rivals in Cotuit. Is there an added pressure to that?
No, there's no added pressure. Just we all really don't like this team. We have bad blood with this team, and we just want to beat them today.
Well, word on the street is you have a teammate playing on the other team from Miami. Yeah. Is that kind of weird, or how is that?
No, I still hate Cotuit, so we're just going to go out there and beat them today. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Dom. I'm Bria Losick, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Welcome back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, and thank you, Bria. Good stuff from Don Patelli talking about the rivalry between Hyannis and Cotuit. The Harbor Hawks trying to get the best of the Kettleers today. In Austin, they're in good shape with Jonathan Fincher on the bump.
He's progressed nicely throughout his couple of starts here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. His most recent one on June 26 against Chatham was quite the electric start from the left-hander from LA Tech. He struck out 5 of the first 6 batters he faced, and we talked about a little bit earlier in the pregame. Sometimes he can be a bend, don't break pitcher. He allows some contact, but he works really well with runners, and he's not afraid of some traffic on the bases. But when he has the strikeout stuff working, he's really amongst the elite arms in this league.
Fincher facing the 1, 2, and 3 due up for the Cotuit Kettleers. Victor Scott from West Virginia, followed by Tommy Troy, and then Tyler Johnson. This is a lineup that Zach can put up runs and put them up in bunches.
Well, you can attest to their record. This team, well, they've already done it to the Hawks, and they did it to not necessarily Jonathan Fincher, but the last time these two teams met, it resulted in an 8-1 win for Cotuit. Now, with taking that into account, the Hawks have been a completely different team, really, since that point. But today is a big litmus test, as our director of broadcast, Harrison Meyer, said. Probably the biggest game the Hawks have played in since the 2018 playoffs.
Yeah. Victor will step into the box here and ready for the first pitch that he'll see from the lefty Jonathan Fincher. The first ball that he throws is it won't be a called strike, but they'll say the bunt held out by Victor was held out too long that he went, and it's strike 1.
Well, you want to talk about speed in the leadoff spot? How about 45 stolen bases at West Virginia for Victor Scott, and only was caught 7 times.
The 0-1. Scott lays off a ball in the dirt, 77 miles an hour. Fincher goes off speed in the first 2 pitches he throws.
You'll see a fastball that sits, up to low 90s for Jonathan Fincher, but really good movement on his breaking pitches, and the location is what makes him above the rest.
That one taken for right, deep to right field. McConnell's coming over. McConnell won't get there. It's going to land at the wall and be extra bases for Scott, who's rounding second, headed for third, and he'll have a standing triple for the Cotuit Kettleers to open this ball game. Breaks out the air guitar, and the runner's in scoring position with nobody down here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, when you can take a ball like that and send it to deep right center field, that shows the power this kid has, but also, Drake, a stand-up triple by a pretty good distance. He has elite speed, and now for Cotuit, you're in prime position to take an early lead.
Tommy Troy will step in for the Kettleers now. Troy on his season with Cotuit has 8 plate appearances, only played in 4 games. He's got 3 hits over the course of those. And the first pitch he takes is 87 with a fastball and a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
And most significantly, one of those 3 hits, a walk-off home run to break the hearts of the Wareham Gatemen on Thursday night.
His former team, the Wareham Gatemen, was there in 2021.
Yep. That next one is fouled out of play. Now Fincher ahead 0-2. The Harbor Hawks are no strangers, even in the last few games, to working with runners in scoring position and somehow finding their way out of it.
It's a credit to the pitching staff, not being afraid to attack hitters still, even when they put somebody on base. You know, I think it shows the confidence they have.
The 0-2 from Fincher. That one is chased and fouled away back behind us. 89 on the fastball. That's as hard as Fincher's been able to hum that one up there so far today.
I think in the home game we saw him touch as high as maybe 90, 91, but this is where he's at his best, between 88 to 90. That's where he has the most control on the pitches.
Fincher, the 0-2. That one is ground on the right side of the field. Going to score a run, but it can't accord for Hyannis, who steps on first, records the first out of the ball game, but Cotuit scores their first run of the ball game.
A little bit of a taste of their own medicine for the Hawks, who have done so much with small ball. Now they have to deal with something they're quite familiar with. Extra base hits. Good job by Cotuit running the bases. Cotuit, no stranger to speed, as they in fact have 38 stolen bases on the year. They lead the league in swipe backs.
Tyler Johnson's the first baseman today for Cotuit, and he stands in as the 3-hole hitter from the left side out of Coastal Carolina University. First pitch he sees from Fincher. Fincher going 76 on the curved ball, called strike.
Drake, would you say these two teams, likely put together, are the fastest two teams on Cape Cod?
Well, they're certainly two of the three. As the next one, there's a cut and a miss on another breaking ball. That curveball was in the dirt and was able to fool Johnson. It's YD, if I remember correctly, and I have the numbers here. YD, Cotuit, and Hyannis, the top three teams in stolen bases this season. The 0-2, that one's fouled off. Johnson barely gets a piece of it, but not only top three in stolen bases, also top three in wins.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a correlation between the two because, as we know, you're not going to hit as many home runs with these wood bats. So the teams who play into small ball are the teams who end up going far.
The 0-2, that one's grounded to the left side to Mitch Jebb. Jebb bobbles it, can't get a hold of the baseball, and the first error of the ball game for the Harbor Hawks comes at the hot corner, and now Cotuit has a base runner on and Tyler Johnson at first base, and the 4-hole hitter Brooks Baldwin coming to the plate.
Yeah, it's a play that you have to backhand if you're Mitch Jebb, which he went to the backhand, but unfortunately it kicked up on the glove a little bit. Maybe a product of, as you can see, the infield dirt's pretty muddy still. You can see all the tracks in it. So Jebb, that's a play he's going to make more times than he's not, and we'll just have to focus on getting the next one.
Fincher comes from the stretch, looks over at Johnson at first, and now deals home the first pitch. Johnson goes. Pancho Ruiz has it called for a strike. The throw down to second base is in time. Pancho Ruiz guns down Tyler Johnson at 2 and flashed the glove. That's the same thing that happened, Austin, against Cotuit in the first matchup, and certainly will be in the knowledge frame of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Yeah, they love to run. They, as much as they lead the league in stolen bases, they lead the league in caught stealing. So they're a team who's going to be aggressive. They tried it last time we played, but it was against Jacob Campbell. And that's a huge for that one misses for a ball. Huge for Pancho to establish that he has just as good of an arm.
Surprised that Johnson ran there. He had quite the late jump. He was out by a solid few seconds.
The 1-1 from Fincher. There's one fouled off the glove of Pancho Ruiz and away. And now Fincher ahead 1-2 with nobody on, a 1-0 game here. Cotuit leads it early as we're 2 outs through the bottom of the first. Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, and our baseline reporter Bria Losick. As Brooks Baldwin from UNC Wilmington steps back in and readies to see the 1-2 from Fincher. The lefty deals. That one's a ball low. Count evens at 2.
Not a bad location for a 1-2 pitch. Off speed, just below the knees. Now 2-2. You still have a few different places you can go.
Fincher's thrown 12 strikes to 3 balls. Now the 2-2. That one's taken high. Count runs full. Fincher trying to set down Johnson, make it Baldwin.
Yeah, Baldwin coming into this at bat at 338. As you see, by the count running full, not an easy out.
A payoff pitch. That one's skied to our right and out of play. Foul, going low breaking ball at 79 miles an hour there for Fincher. And it was the breaking ball against Chatham on Sunday that helped him strike out 5 of those first 6 batters that he faced against the Anglers.
He drops it down to as low as 76, so definitely keeps hitters off balance. You can't really get too comfortable in the box.
Another payoff from Fincher. That one skied on the right side of the field and out of play again. Another foul ball, and Baldwin does well to stay alive.
Hey, Drake, I crunched some numbers for you. It looks like the Harbor Hawks have, in fact, jumped Brewster's. Not YD, but Brewster. They are now second in the league with 28 steals.
And Brewster will not play today.
However, a full 10 steals ahead.
Payoff from Fincher. There's a cut and a miss. Jonathan Fincher records his first strikeout of the ball game, but not before the Kettleers strike first. They garner a hit and a run on a stand-up triple in the bottom of the first, and they lead this one 1-0 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Tastes like a Coke.
We nailed it!
Coke Zero Sugar. Have they nailed it?
Sounds like they really nailed it, huh?
Nailed it.
And that's when you said, so it really tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, that's the point.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
Back here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Losick, and our producers Ella Gibson and Abby Stokes at Lowell Park, where it's a smooth 78 degrees, about as humid as you could ask for. The bugs are out, and the sun is somehow out. We expected a rain out for today's game, but here we are with Christian Moore stepping into the box on the right side, playing baseball at Lowell.
Well, it doesn't look like the rain's expected to get in until about 7:30, so.
Oh, boy. Thanks for willing that one, Zach Berman.
Way to jinx it.
Let's see if we can get a quick 2-1 win in, right? First pitch to Moore. That one grounded right at the shortstop. Ritter picks it up, throws over to first in time, records the out. The first at the top of the second.
Well, for a guy who walked 4 times last night, Christian Moore a little bit more aggressive here, swinging at the first pitch, but I don't really mind the approach at all. You know, you might not have a full 9 innings today, depending on the circumstances, so might as well be aggressive early on.
Right. Cole McConnell steps in. Lefty's been one of the better hitters for the Harbor Hawks this season. First pitch that he sees from Cohen. That one they called strike, 85 miles an hour. And off speed there, changeup from Cohen.
Yeah, it's a good changeup, too. You know a guy has a solid changeup when they throw it on the first pitch of an at-bat, too. You saw the dip on it towards the end.
The 0-1 now to Cole McConnell. McConnell takes that fastball high. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. McConnell is rounding first base, going to be extra bases. Comes into second where he's standing up safely. Cole McConnell has the second hit of the ball game for the Harbor Hawks.
I love the approach here for the Hawks. Early in the at-bats, Cohen's throwing a lot of strikes. He's thrown 13 strikes to 2 balls. So you're swinging early in counts, and nice read by McConnell to yank that one down the line. And the Harbor Hawks have a runner in scoring position and a speedy one at that.
Cole McConnell, you're exactly right. Solid speed standing at second base, and Pancho Ruiz comes the dish. Ruiz this season hitting just 167, trying to bring himself up out of a slump, and what a time to do it here. Down by 1 against your rival early, a runner in scoring position, and any hit should score Cole McConnell.
Does he still have you-know-what written on the bat?
It looks like the tape is gone. Hit a home run is no longer on Pancho Ruiz's bat. First pitch that he sees from the righty Cohen. There's a righty-on-righty matchup, and an off-speed is outside of the zone for ball 1.
Look, we've seen Pancho during BP and during his time at San Diego State hit baseballs a long way. That power has not shown itself yet this season, but you feel like once it arrives, it's going to come at you fast and furious.
The 1-0 to Pancho Ruiz. That one is low. He didn't go. Defensive alignment for Cotuit. Includes Kern in right, Scott in center field, Ritter at short, Troy at second base, Tyler Johnson's at first, Garros at third, and McNiss behind the plate. Now the 2-0 pitch to Ruiz with McConnell standing at second. Harbor Hawks trailing by 1. Ruiz cuts and misses at a 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, 2-0, you're probably sitting fastball. Pancho just couldn't catch up to it. It was a good location there by Cohen up in the zone. Now 2-1, you're still in a hitter's count, and for Pancho, I think you need to put this ball in play. Obviously, you'd like a hit, but can't go down on the strikes. It really doesn't do much for your offense here.
Now the 2-1 to Ruiz from Harrison Cohen. Cohen, not really a guy known for control issues either. Stays ahead in the count often, and the 2-1 pitch is a called ball outside and now goes down 3-1 at 92. We'll see what Pancho Ruiz can do with it.
Green light, swing away. Like we've mentioned, Cohen tends to be pretty consistent in terms of throwing strikes, so he's likely going to give you something in the zone here on 3-1.
A 3-1 pitch to Ruiz. Trying to make something happen here with one down and a runner on second for the Harbor Hawks. Cohen from the stretch. Ruiz cuts that one left and foul just out of the reach of Eric Beatty. Eric Beatty mentioned in the dugout show that he made his first ever Cape League start right here at Lowell Park.
How about that?
That's neat.
Full circle.
Well, we had to go here at some point in time.
Yeah.
So
some point.
Yeah.
I wonder if
that was going to happen no matter what.
3 rainouts plus 3 postponements plus 3 more rainouts.
Well,
then maybe not.
You got a point. Yeah, hopefully not see him in the playoffs. The payoff pitch to Ruiz from Harrison Cohen. That one is skied up back behind Ruiz. It's foul. Mickness looking all around. It's out of the field of play. Cohen, 3.92 ERA in the spring through those 87 and a third pitched. Talked about the 7-7 record. An opponent batting average of 252. That's not elite by any means whatsoever.
Well, he generates a lot of contacts with how he pitches. It's just a matter of getting soft contacts, you know, not having the ball leave the infield. And already the Harbor Hawks, 3 ground outs. So
payoff to Ruiz. Pancho lifts down to left field, and it is not within the range of the left fielder. It's down, and moving over to third base is Cole McConnell. Pancho Ruiz knocks himself a single. And a solid start for the Harbor Hawks here, looking for a one-out rally in the top of the second.
So what I noticed on that play is Cole McConnell froze between second and third because he wasn't sure if the left fielder Kern was going to catch it. But if he had picked up his third base coach, Eric Beatty, he was waving him to third and around. So that's an adjustment McConnell's going to have to make. And I think Beatty's talking to him about it right now. Watch him, watch your coach rather than the ball in that situation because Beatty had a good read that it was going to drop, and that could have been a run.
Pancho Ruiz is followed up by Dominic Patelli, donning a new number. Possible squeeze situation here where the Harbor Hawks could tie it. First pitch he sees. He'll lay the bunt, or he'll show bunt, pull back on the ball low. He didn't go. It's 1-0. It was the left fielder there, Cade Kern, who looked like may have had room for the ball on Ruiz's single. Now, exactly like you mentioned. McConnell's watching that instead. Now he's standing at third, Pancho at first.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You don't want to get doubled up, but your coach is, if you're looking at your coach and he's saying go, then you go. And if you get doubled up, well, that's on the coach.
The 1-0 to Dominic Patelli, who cuts and misses. Patelli on the year, 7 for 43, batting 162. If I remember correctly, Pancho Ruiz came to the dish batting 162. Has 1 home run, 6 RBI.
2 of which were last night.
Yeah. 6 RBI, good for top 5 on this squad. And now the 1-1 from Cohen to Patelli. There's a high fastball at 91 that's fouled away off the left side. Cohen will sit with the fastball 89 to 92. You'll see him work the changeup a lot at 81 to 85. We've seen the slider already a couple of times. But again, opponent batting average of 252, allowed 82 hits in 87 innings at George Washington. And we'll see what he does here on the 1-2 pitch. Dom Patelli swings and misses, and there is a strikeout with runners on the corners and only 1 down. Now with 2 out, Riku Nishida comes the dish.
Well, you really needed Patelli to put the ball in play there. Now, that's just a great pitched at bat by Cohen on the mound. Really attacked him well, but yeah, first and third, 1 out. You got to get that run home.
The infield for Cotuit has shifted. You can see, interesting here, Ritter shades second base. Tommy Troy at second base is playing pretty deep. Left field, or third baseman, Caros, playing in on the grass against Nishida. First pitch Nishida sees. That one is grounded to the right side of Tommy Troy. Troy picks up, toss to second, is in time. And the Harbor Hawks had a runner on third base with only 1 down and can't do anything with it here in the top of the second inning. They still trail this one 1-0 from Lowell Park. This is the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Bringing it back to the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network, Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda and Zach Berman as Jonathan Fincher from Louisiana Tech comes back out of the mound for the Harbor Hawks. The first game he threw in on Cape Cod was actually against Cotuit on June 18th at McKeon Ballpark. Went 4 2/3, allowed 2 earned runs, 6 hits, had a couple of strikeouts. Didn't struggle necessarily, but wasn't his very best outing, he mentioned, but then comes out against Chatham and was pretty lights out, going 4 innings, 6 strikeouts. Actually struck out 5 of the first 6 batters that he saw, and he's working down a run here in the bottom of the second inning. The Harbor Hawks have been able to score or put up 3 hits on the board. They have 1 error, no runs for Cotuit. 1 run on 1 hit and no errors in this game. Fincher trying to set him down 1-2-3 here in inning number 2.
Obviously, for Fincher, wasn't the sharpest start in the first inning. The leadoff triple will do some damage, but he did settle in really nice. Get the next 3 guys out.
Stepping to the plate, Kyle Karros from UCLA. Karros, starting third baseman today. First pitch he sees, skied into right field. Drifting over is Nolan Shaniel. Shaniel shades, makes the catch, and the first out is retired on 1 pitch here in the bottom of the second.
Well, after the last inning, quick outs are going to be the strategy. You want to settle back into a groove if you're Fincher. He's shown the ability to do that on the Cape thus far, and from one UCLA Bruin to another.
Now you get Cody Schreier coming to the plate. Schreier is a 49% pull hitter. Really pull heavy. The left, or the righty, I should say, takes the pitch from the lefty. And the first one he sees, that one's skied on the right side of the field. Another pop up. Drifting over is the first baseman, Justin Hyannis, who makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning.
Drake, that's a can of?
That would be a can of beans.
I was going to say not 1, but 2 can o' corns.
Well, you can't really have a better start to that in an inning. 2 pitches, 2 outs, and not really hard contact by the Kettleers. And for Fincher, after you allow a leadoff triple, how about you settle in with a weak ground out?
Yep.
A guy does reach on an error, and then a strikeout and a couple of pop-ups, and now you're in business. You're settled in.
With 2 down here in the bottom of the second, Fincher comes home, and a ball is skied to the left side of the infield by Ryan Ritter. Drifting over is Mitch Jebb. Mitch Jebb, a little redemption catch there at third base. 3 pitches, 3 fly balls, 3 outs here in the bottom of the second for Jonathan Fincher and the Harbor Hawks. Doesn't get much easier than that, and we'll send it down to our baseline reporter, Bria Losick, who's on the field.
Thanks so much, Drake. It's a packed house tonight at Lowell Park, and if you look in the stands on the first base side, you'll see a Louisiana Tech flag. A couple of loyal La Tech fans made the trip to the Cape this weekend just to watch the Harbor Hawks trio of Bulldogs. The couple has been to Louisiana Tech baseball, has been season ticket holders for Louisiana Tech baseball for a few years now, and sit next to Jonathan Fincher's girlfriend at games. Even though they have no relation to Fincher, McConnell, or Matulia, all the guys know exactly who they are and were surprised by them last night in the stands when they saw their signature fan waving. Back to you guys.
Wow, great stuff from Bria, and great to have our 3 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. We'll take it to a break and be right back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it.
the Harbor Hawks have not gone quietly through the first two. While they haven't put up a run yet, they do have 3 hits to their name and have done a good job ramping production, Austin.
Yeah, they have. I mean, 3 hits through the first 2 frames is certainly a good sign, especially when you can get all the way back to your leadoff man to start off the top half of the third. As we know, sometimes the second, third time through the lineup for pitchers in this league, they tend to struggle. So if you can make Cohen have to face your lineup the second time through as early as the top of the third, as he's doing here, that's always a plus.
First pitch that Mitch Jebb sees is in the dirt for a ball at 83 miles an hour. Jebb's the leadoff hitter today, is 0 for 1 on his day as well, batting .295, currently second on the Harbor Hawk roster. And now the 1-0 from Cohen. Jebb will take that one high. 2-0, he's ahead in the count.
What do you think is going through Mitch Jebb's head right now? It's your first time back on your original Cape League team.
Hit ball.
Yeah.
Hit ball hard.
Try to hit the baseball as far as possible. Get his first home run of the year. Had 5 at Michigan State this spring. Now the 2-0 pitch from Cohen to Jebb. That one is eye level. Called ball, 91 miles an hour. 3-0, Jebb ahead. Zach Berman, green light or red light?
I would say as red as possible.
I give him the green light.
Oh, really?
I do, because this guy is one of the most talented hitters on the team. If you get a fastball inside, he turns on it.
Should be a red light. 3-0, it is a red light, and it's a ball. No, it's not. That was chest level. That
Courtesy
pitch
strike.
came across where it says Hyannis on his jersey, and they have called it a strike.
Well, the reason I go red light there is you put Mitch Jebb on, you have one of the more talented base runners, not just on the team, but in the whole league.
The 3-1 to Jebb. Jebb takes a fastball. That one was in the strike zone at 90 miles an hour. The pitch before, on the other hand, was not, but we still sit at 3-2. Jebb standing at the plate. After starting 0 for 10 on Cape Cod in his first 3 games, he has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who came into the year as the MVP at Michigan State of their team and their Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Just the accolades just go pages and pages long.
The 3-2 to Jebb. Mitch Jebb cuts that one into center field. Center fielder coming over, making a leaping grab is Victor Scott the second, and that wasn't even necessary.
No.
That was just to flash the glove.
A little bit of flair.
No, didn't need it. I mean, could have just ran and caught it chest level, but that's all I'm going to say about that one.
Yeah.
Didn't need to do it.
Some Tennessee action there from the West Virginia center fielder. Funny. Coming up next in the lineup past Mitch Jebb is Tito Flores. He's got the clutch gene for the Harbor Hawks. Came into this game batting .327. That's the best on the team. The first pitch he sees is fouled back behind us. Flores in left field today out of Allen Park, Michigan, and a member of the Blue.
Maize and Blue.
Well, the Maize and Blue, yes. He has 2 home runs this season, a couple of doubles as well. 7 RBI. And the 0-1 that he sees from Cohen ensuing from the windup, fires home, and that one's fouled back behind us as well. Down on the count, 0-2.
So Tito's a guy who makes in-game adjustments as good as any player in this league. He struck out on his first at-bat on a high and inside fastball at 92. Right there you saw Cohen try to go back to that pitch at 93. Tito fouls it off. He's somebody who, it's hard to fool him on the same pitch twice in the same contest because he's just so mature at making those in-game adjustments.
The 0-2 to Flores. Tito watches that ball low. Good to lay off the 83-mile-an-hour off-speed that sunk late. And in 15 games, to correct a previous stat, in 15 games, Tito Flores has gotten a hit, 14 of them.
You know, it feels weird to not be able to hear the ump yell balls and strikes tonight after last night.
Yeah, the 1-2 to Flores. He grounds that one on the left side. Coming over, scooping is Carros. Carros' throw to first is in time, and that's the second out at the top of the third inning. Game's moving quickly as Tito Flores gives way to the 3-hole hitter, Justin Hyannis.
Just got on top of that one a little bit. There on 1-2, you kind of have to protect the plate. That's why Tito shortened up, but when you try to put it in play on a changeup like that below your knee, it's not really a pitch you can do a ton with, and hence the weak contact to the left side, but now you get back to your 3-hitter.
Hyannis is 1 for 1 today and steps to the plate to face Cohen for the second time. Cuts that one to the right side of the field, right at Tommy Troy. The Stanford product throws to first in time. Can of corn there. 3 up, 3 down go the Harbor Hawks. It was a quick third inning when we come back the top of the 4th. The guys in blue trail this one 1-0 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
It is 8, 9, and 1 due up here in the top. That's the bottom of the third.
Already.
Bottom of the third.
Yeah.
I said that incorrectly earlier. It was the bottom of the second that Jonathan Fincher goes 1, 2, 3 pitches. Now it's the bottom of the third. So we're not through the third inning. We still got to play the other half of it.
Yeah.
Facing 8, 9, and 1. And you got Victor Scott Jr. who comes up again, having hit a stand-up triple in his first at-bat.
Yeah, you want to, primarily focus on the 8-9 hitters first and try to get those two guys out so that way when you get to Scott, you don't have to worry about any base runners because he's going to need your full attention.
No kidding. Mickness steps to the plate for Cotuit. Justin Mickness is out of Kent State. The Golden Flashes bat .290 in the spring. His slash finishes at .385 OBP and .489 slugging, 8 home runs. And the first pitch that he sees from Jonathan Fincher is eye level fastball for a ball.
It's interesting to see how Fincher attacks left-handed hitters different than he attacks righties. He throws more curveballs to these left-handers.
Mickness, the catcher today, fouls that one right back to us. And, a nice scoop there from Zach Berman. Well done.
Oh, yeah, don't pump me up more than I need to.
Yeah, that's good. Mickness now with a 1-1 from Fincher. Lefty, Jonathan sets, deals it, breaking ball. That one's tagged right at Dominic Patelli. Patelli fields, throws it in time for the out. Patelli donning the number 5 now. Was previously number 36. Switch things up, and
do you know why?
I
haven't asked him.
I do know why.
All right,
Why?
tell us.
36 was way too big.
Oh.
Like the jersey?
Yes, the number was the jersey itself was just huge.
That's how a lot of these go. The bigger the number, the bigger the jersey.
Well, he's got 2 RBIs since he switched to 5, so.
All right,
well, he had 4 with 36, so unfortunately.
First pitch that the 9-hole hitter Cade Kern will see is a ball outside, fastball 88 miles an hour. Kern at Ohio State had 9 home runs in the spring. He's a pretty balanced hitter, too, as he skies one deep to center field. That's to left center, and Cole McConnell flashing the glove, showing off the range and making the grab. He went probably a good 100 feet to track that one down in left field.
I would pay to put StatCast on Cole McConnell to see how much ground he covers during a game because that ball off the bat looked like extra bases right away. And you just saw Cole slowly kind of closing in on that. It's what impresses me the most about him is he takes the right angle on every single ball that's hit his way. He knows the angle immediately off the bat. It's so impressive to watch.
For a pitcher, it's almost a calming presence. He's a security blanket out there.
First pitch to Victor Scott II is a called ball low.
74 on the breaking ball on the first pitch. That's such a tough pitch to lay off for a left-handed hitter.
Scott, 5'11" junior out of Powder Springs, Georgia, lays off another off-speed in the dirt. Fincher comes out, gets the ball from Pancho Ruiz. The defensive alignment for the Harbor Hawks in left field, Tito Flores. Center field, Cole McConnell. Right field, Nolan Shaniel. Dom Patelli at shortstop, Riku Nishida at second. Justin Hyannis at first, Jeb at third. As that one is fouled off to the right side by Victor Scott II for his first strike on the at-bat. Now 2-1, and Pancho Ruiz out of San Diego State is behind the dish. Now the 1-2 from Fincher. That one's hammered to the right side of the field and through for a hit. Right between Justin Hyannis and Riku Nishida on the right side. It's relayed in and a single for Victor Scott II, who's now 2 for 2 today.
Yeah. Scott started really a little bit cold to start the year. He came into this one 4 for 31, but he's already got a triple and a single, so we're watching a guy figure out how to bat on the Cape in real time.
Well, Fincher kind of pigeonholed his way into having to throw a fastball there on 2-1. He started the at-bat with back-to-back breaking balls, so not really a ton of options, and unfortunately, Scott was ready for it.
Here comes Tommy Troy from Stanford as Fincher throws over to Hyannis and just checks on the one-hole hitter Victor Scott II, who's got great speed. Tommy Troy helped his team all the way to Omaha as Victor Scott goes. The throw down to second, not in time. Poncho Ruiz threw it just a little high to Riku Nishida. The ball got there first, but Nishida had to jump up to grab it and couldn't lay the tag to get the out.
Well, for a guy who stole 45 stolen bases and only was caught 7 times at West Virginia, that was a lot closer of a play than it normally is when he's stealing bases. So not a bad throw by Poncho. If he gets that on the money, they have him caught. He just threw it too high.
Now the 1-0 from Fincher to Tommy Troy. He sets, deals. Scott trying to steal third. That one is skied high on the infield. Drifting over is Dom Patelli. Dom makes the catch, and that's the third out here of the bottom of the third inning. Cotuit will leave one man stranded as they lead the ball game 1-0. We go to the top of the fourth, and Hyannis gets a chance to answer back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Harrison Cohen comes back out for the Cotuit Kettleers, trying to hold the Harbor Hawks at bay in the top of the fourth. Cotuit has just 2 hits on the day, and they have both come from Victor Scott II. They've got 1 run to Hyannis 0, but the Harbor Hawks do have 3 hits. On the year, Cohen has started 3 games, pitched 11 1/3, has only allowed 2 earned runs. He's only walked 2 and has 8 strikeouts. That was coming into today's game. For Cohen today, has a couple of strikeouts and those 3 hits we already mentioned through his 3 innings.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been primarily with the fastball. He's locating it so well, and when it sits 93, it's going to give hitters some trouble, but the Hawks are putting the ball in play. They've hit it hard, and they do lead the game in hits, so let's just see if they can string a couple together here and tie this thing up.
Nolan Shaniel steps to the plate. Shaniel, the cleanup hitter for the Harbor Hawks today, coming into this game with a .213 batting average. First pitch he sees, there is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, high and outside, ball 1.
Well, when you hit 369 at Florida Atlantic with a .477 on-base percentage, you're expected to produce here on Cape Cod, and that's why Shaniel has been reinserted into the cleanup spot after a brief spell down in the 6th hole, and he's really putting together a lot of better at-bats in the last week.
Shaniel 0 for 1 in the ball game today and takes a breaking ball for a strike low in the zone. The count evens at 1-1. Shaniel has gotten a hit in 4 of his last 5 games for the Harbor Hawks. Last night against Wareham was 1 for 4 with his first double on the year. Now the 1-1 from Cohen. Shaniel watches a ball right at the Hyannis logo across the chest.
You can really see the quality of these at-bats up and down the lineup are starting to get better and better as the season goes on. It's
2-1 to Nolan Shaniel. Cohen from the windup. That one comes a ball again, chest level. There's a 3-0 count earlier in the game to Mitch Jebb. Now a 3-1 here to Shaniel not too long later. A couple of counts where Cohen has got down, but still no walks on the game. 3-1 from the George Washington product. That one is outside and away from the catcher, Mickness, for ball 4, and the Harbor Hawks have another base runner in this game. Now 3 out of the 4 innings where they've come to the plate, they've been able to do that much.
Ball got so far behind Mickness that Shaniel hustled down the first base line and was thinking of almost going 2.
Yeah, large backstop here at Lowell Park, all grass too, and there's no brick backstop like other parks. It's a chain link fence, so even when the ball sneaks by the catcher, it's not going to get a redirect right back to him. So pass balls could mean not only 1 base, but sometimes 2, depending on the scenario.
Hello, Christian Moore. He comes to the dish for the Harbor Hawks now with a 5-hole today. Product of Tennessee. Had 10 home runs in the spring. Still looking for his first on Cape Cod. But boy, Moore has been special as the first pitch he takes from Cohen is outside. Another ball here. Through the first 6 pitches that Cohen has thrown in the top of the 4th inning, 5 of them have been balls. To tell you a little more about Moore, though, he got the golden toupee last night. That is
that what you've called it?
4 walks in a game.
Thought it was beret, not
It
toupee.
was the golden beret, but then last night, Zach Berman looks at me after the game and goes, "What do we call that? The golden toupee?" And he has since changed the name to golden toupee.
It is golden toupee.
It is now.
4 walks.
He has walked 7 times on the season. He has played a total of 7 games since joining the squad from Tennessee. His batting average sits now at .277.
Thank you for the pause for emphasis.
Yeah.
It's great.
Could have been 210, could have been 290.
I was
You were waiting.
on the edge of my seat waiting for that one.
Now the 1-0 to Christian Moore after Mickness called time and talked to Cohen. He cuts and misses on a fastball at 89 miles an hour. Cohen took a couple of miles per hour off of that one.
Shaniel over on first has good speed, 11 for 12 in stolen bases at Florida Atlantic, so keep an eye on that.
Now the 1-1 to Christian Moore. Nobody down here in the top of the 4th and 1 on. Did Moore go around? Yes, he did. That was a breaking ball in the dirt. Moore chased.
He did. Sometimes you'll see the umpire check on that one, but home plate umpire clearly saw that he went around, so didn't even need to check. Now 1-2, you got to be wary of going back to that pitch.
Next pitch to Moore. He grounds that one right at Ritter at second base. The toss to first, or second. They got the out there. The toss to first, and a double play ball from Christian Moore will count for the first 2 outs at the top of the 4th.
And that really stings because the Hawks are making solid contact, but once again, and this is something we saw affect them earlier in the season, they make a lot of contact. They don't strike out a lot, but a lot of these contacts wind up in the infield and right at opposing players. And that's how you wind up with a pretty routine 6-4-3 double play.
Comes Cole McConnell to the plate. Came into the game with an OBP of 358 in the first one he sees. It's grounded off of his foot right back at the pitcher Cohen, a foul ball. I mentioned the OBP category for the Harbor Hawks is something they've been pretty successful in, top 3 in the league. Christian Moore came into this one with an OBP of 462. Mitch Jebb with an OBP of 400 and Tito Flores at 393. So some gaudy numbers out of the Harbor Hawks.
They see a ton of pitches, too. Not only do they get on base, but they really make pitchers work, which is why it's rare to see starters go real deep against Hyannis. The last time we saw that happen was, funny enough, against Cotuit, where Cade Morris went 6 1/3.
Now the 0-1 to Cole McConnell with nobody on here in the top of the 4th and 2 down as a ball low. The Harbor Hawks also have the 2nd best batting average in the league with a 233 mark. Cotuit is first with a 253 clip, a 20-point difference. Cotuit's just been that good at the plate.
Yeah, they have, and that's why their record shows it. I mean, 13, 2-3.
The 1-1 to McConnell, grounded up the middle, and Cole McConnell has got a 2-out single to center field. He'll stand at first base and bring Pancho Ruiz to the plate for the Harbor Hawks.
Well, the off day yesterday for McConnell maybe reinvigorated him a bit, and 2 for 2 to start. Sometimes guys just need 1 day off to rejuvenate.
Yeah.
It's been a long summer, and just like that, a double and a single. And those 2 swings that he put were really good ones, too. They're not just cheap hits by Cole. So that's a good sign. And now with 2 outs, maybe start something here.
Pancho comes to the dish, looking for his second base hit on the day. Had a single into left field earlier. He's got Cole McConnell at first, the first pitch he sees. There's a cut and a miss on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And we've mentioned it, McConnell's got good speed. Not a bad guy to have over at first. And Pancho got the night off last night as Jacob Campbell was behind the dish catching for Hyannis.
How about McConnell? 313 average on the year, so just about 1 hit behind Tito.
0-1 McConnell goes, and he goes without a throw. Mickness dropped the baseball behind the dish. Cole McConnell records a stolen base, but Pancho is down to the count 0-2.
Yeah, stolen base is great, puts you in scoring position, but now you have Pancho 0-2 with 2 outs. It's still a very tough spot here, so.
Pancho's got 6 hits on his Cape League season. One of them coming today, a couple of RBI as well. The runner in scoring position could hopefully score one with a hit here. He watches an 82-mile-an-hour off-speed outside ball 1.
Tough pitch to take, especially with you being a right-handed hitter at the plate and Pancho Ruiz. It's that slider, breaking ball type of pitch that just tails off the outside corner, and right-handed hitters oftentimes will chase that out of the zone, so good discipline by the young catcher.
Now the 1-2 to Poncho. Cohen from the stretch, eyes McConnell, comes home. Poncho fouls that one off to the left. Nobody holding McConnell at second base. We've already talked about how these two teams love to steal bases. Hyannis came in with 28, good for third in the league. Cotuit is first with 38, but they've also been caught 16 times.
That being McConnell's third stolen base of the year. He is one of 6 Harbor Hawks to have recorded 2 or more stolen bases this season. Cotuit, they've also done a pretty good job spreading the wealth. They have 5 guys with multiple stolen bags as well. The leaders for the Hawks right now, Nishida
1-2.
and Jeb.
That one's fouled into the glove of Mignus. And a strikeout for out number 3 in the top of the 4th. Poncho Ruiz goes down swinging, and that'll do it for the Harbor Hawks bats here in the 4th as we go to the bottom of the inning, trailing 1-0 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
Happy 4th of July weekend and a packed Lowell Park here with the Harbor Hawks trailing 1-0 going to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Jonathan Fincher on the bump still is facing the best offense far and away on Cape Cod. Cotuit first in the league in runs with 82. Cotuit first in the league in hits with 139. They lead the league as well in long balls with 14. They also, here's this, we talked about how they swipe bags. They have the best OBP with 354 and their best average with 253, 20 points better than Hyannis, who's second.
Is there anything Cotuit doesn't lead the league in currently?
Okay. They are dead last
in
allowing runs.
So they're first in.
So they're, yes.
Okay,
so,
way to phrase it.
If you want that.
All right.
They are 4th worst in the league in walking opposing hitters. They do that. They'll walk you.
There we go.
Hyannis is better than Cotuit in hitting batters. They've only hit 6. Cotuit has hit 7.
There's your storyline right there. Cotuit control.
Coming to the plate for the Cotuit Kettleers and sending one high and deep to left field is Tyler Johnson. And that ball carries up and carries out.
What a piece of hitting by Johnson. He just inside-out swing and served it over the fence the opposite way. And I mean, we're right behind the plate. You can tell when someone makes a nice contact, and boy, the sound off of that one, you knew it was gone off the bat.
Johnson has his 4th home run of the year and his 7th RBI, and that makes this game Cotuit 2, Hyannis 0. In the bottom of the 4th, nobody on as Jonathan Fincher tries to take down Brooks Baldwin. That pitch is low and outside. Hey, look, 1 run. Nobody was on base. Solo shot. Still a 2-run game, and the Harbor Hawks have been no stranger to run production in their last 9 as that one's fouled off to the left side. Harbor Hawks are 7-0-2 over the course of the last week and a half.
No stranger to comebacks as well.
Tough hitter at the plate, Brooks Baldwin, about even in his spray chart and the distribution of his hits. He can hit it to all fields.
The 1-1 from Fincher is in the dirt at 74 miles an hour. Baldwin bat .347 in the spring. On Cape Cod, he's batting .338 with 13 RBI. That is the best clip in the league. As he sends one to left field, that's a base hit. It's a single fielded by Tito Flores, rounded in, and now nobody down with a runner on first base in Brooks Baldwin.
Well, we talked about Jonathan Fincher being a bend, don't break pitcher at times. Now he's bending a little bit here, a base runner on after the leadoff home run. Now it's time for him to settle in again as he did in the first inning after allowing a run, so we'll see how Finch responds.
Fincher went 4 innings on Sunday against Chatham, 4 2/3 against Cotuit in that first matchup on June 18th, 2 weeks ago. He's gone 3 innings here, has a runner at first base in Brooks Baldwin, and now faces Kyle Carros. Fincher will throw back over to first, and Baldwin was only 2 or 3 steps off the base. Comes back in safely, and Carros, about .299 out of UCLA. He's the third baseman today for Cotuit, and another throw over to first base to hold Baldwin. Talked about how this team loves to steal. Now the first pitch to Kyle Carros. Wind blowing pretty much straight out to left. That one's skied to center field. McConnell going back to the wall. McConnell at the warning track. Camps makes the catch. Runner tags. The throw from McConnell to second base is not in time. Just like that, Brooks Baldwin has advanced to scoring position, but there's one down here in the 4th.
You don't see that every day, a runner that tags from first to second on a fly ball to center field, but shows you the speed that Brooks Baldwin has and how well that ball was hit. All the way to the warning track. Could have been more trouble than it was.
Carros gives way in the lineup to Cody Schreier. Schreier, another product of UCLA.
Future Big Ten school UCLA. Still feels weird to say, I gotta tell you.
He pulls the ball 49% of the time, strong pull hitter. See the infield shade a bit that way. Fincher checks Baldwin at second. Now the lefty will step off, and there's nobody holding him there. It'll scare him back to the bag.
Today is Schreier's Cape League debut for the season.
UCLA, a pretty good baseball school. They bring some good ball to the Big Ten. That ball's taken 76, the curveball, outside ball 1.
Well, with that, Brooks Baldwin is 11th stolen base on a team that swipes a lot of bags. He has now taken the team lead for stolen bases.
Well, that was a tag up. The 1-0. Fincher checks over to Baldwin at second. That one's sky to the left side of the field. Foul territory. Mitch Jebb up under it. Jebb makes the second out at the bottom of the 4th.
It's a good job settling in by Fincher once again after adversity strikes. He gets a fly out to center. Runner tags to second, and then get a pop up to third. So now 2 away. You're 1 out away from getting out of this after a home run and a single to start the inning.
Following Schreier is Ryan Ritter, shortstop out of Kentucky. And boy, he gave the Harbor Hawks fits the last time these two teams played, both offensively and defensively. Ritter had a great spring for the Wildcats, and we'll see how much longer he's on Cape.
Well, the last time Ritter saw these Hawks, he gave them a headache and then some. I mean, my goodness, he went 4 for 4 with a 3-run homer in that contest.
Fincher will step off again, check Baldwin at second base. He's got 2 down here, trailing 2-0 in the 4th. 4 hits for both teams. Lone error of the game came in the bottom of the 1st for the Harbor Hawks. Now the first pitch to Ryan Ritter. Fincher from the left side gets a cut and a miss on 77 miles an hour.
Sorry about the confusion earlier. It was the leadoff man for Cotuit, Victor Scott, who, when he stole a base in the bottom of the 3rd, he now has the team lead. So apologies for the miscommunication on my behalf, but
the 0-1 to Ritter. Fincher from the stretch. Riku vaguely holding Baldwin at second. That ball's in the dirt. Ritter on his season at Kentucky. More power versus righties. Against lefties, he hit .286 with a .386 OBP. Had just 1 home run though, .408 slugging. Teammates with Magdale Cotto, Austin Strickland. The 1-1 to the shortstop. Fincher checks Baldwin again. Eyeing Baldwin, now fires home. There's a ball outside. And Ritter's ahead in the count, 2-1.
And Ritter is primarily a pull hitter, too. He has 12 hits to left field this season as opposed to 0 to center and 3 to right. So you'll see the Harbor Hawks outfield not really shaded any differently than normal, but could expect him to pull the ball to left field here.
The 1 strike pitch and the 2-1 from Fincher's in the dirt. Now 3-1 to Ritter, a guy who didn't walk in the spring very often. 21 base on balls, 68 strikeouts.
Once again, not surprised that Fincher's being a little bit tentative with Ritter, considering how the matchup went between the two of them the first time they played.
Ritter is 0 for 1 today. And he awaits the 3-1 pitch from Jonathan Fincher. Deals home, breaking ball, called strike. Ritter looked back at the umpire and effectively called that strike for him, because that's the best breaking ball. It's 70 miles an hour we've seen from Fincher today. Left it hanging up, but then last second, it swipes down across and into the strike zone.
Yeah, when you can get a hitter to admit that they just watched a beautiful pitch and kind of, hey, that was a strike.
Ritter turns the blue and says, yeah, that was in.
You're doing something right.
The payoff pitch from Fincher trying to end the 4th inning. There's one hot shot foul to the left side.
He's going to pull the ball. We just talked about that. He was way out in front of the fastball there. You've got to shade the infield and maybe the outfield in that direction. Now you'll see Riku Nishida kind of move towards the second base bag just a bit. Not really too much, but more than in previous at-bats.
Mentioned how strikeouts have been an issue for Ritter in the spring. On a 3-2 count, he'll swing at a pitch in the zone 70% of the time. Pretty low number. He'll swing out of the zone 35% of the time, a pretty high number.
He's swinging on 3-2.
Yeah. Now the payoff pitch again from Jonathan Fincher. Checks Baldwin at second, deals it home. That one's cut on, hit to the left field, and foul by about 5 feet.
Just keep Tito Flores right there on that line, down the left field line. I just said it again. He's going to pull the ball. Because Fincher's not a guy who's throwing in the high 90s, right? He's a guy who sits about 88, 89.
Yeah.
So Ritter's able to get ahead on his fastball, too.
I would be careful about hanging the breaking ball here. He's already hung the last 2 pitches in this at-bat, and Fincher got lucky on the one before that last one, so maybe something a little bit closer to the outside part of the plate here.
The 3-2 from Jonathan Fincher. Another one, deals it. That breaking ball is skied on the infield. Riku Nishida going back, and it's going to land in no man's land in right field. Nolan Shaniel collects it. Riku didn't get a great beat on the baseball, and looked like he had the range to make the play. He went left, the ball went right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything he can do about that. It was in on the hands, and he just one of those jam shots out to right center. And Shaniel, obviously in right, not a true outfielder, so he's not going to be able to come in and get that. And you mentioned Riku didn't get the best jump on it, but still, that's just one of those pitches where kind of do everything right and jam them. And unfortunately, it ends up in a positive result for the offense.
Well, Baldwin ends up coming around from second and scoring. It's now a 3-0 ball game on the hit from Ritter. In the first pitch that Jonathan Fincher throws to Justin Mickness, the catcher from Kent State, is a called ball at 86.
That's why Cotuit is so good, because they take the extra base every single time they have the opportunity. Baldwin moved to second on a tag up to center, and then comes around to score on a bloop single. If he doesn't take that extra base on the fly ball to center, you're probably looking at first and third. But now, I mean, they're so aggressive, and it pays off down here.
The 1-0 now from Fincher. That one is skied to the right side of the field. Nolan Shaniel comes over. Shaniel camps out. Shaniel records the 3rd out of the bottom of the 4th inning, but not before Cotuit strikes for a couple more. They now lead this ball game 3-0 as the Harbor Hawks try to produce not just offense, but runs, with Don Patelli, Riku Nishida, and Mitch Jebb up next on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
What are you looking forward to? Adding a takeout window?
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5, because we're looking forward to helping you. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Well, it's 2 of the best offenses in the league squaring off today as we go to the top of the 5th. The Harbor Hawks are 3rd in the league in runs, 2nd in the league in hits. They lead the Cape Cod Baseball League in triples. However, the one thing we've mentioned, the home run has really been the kryptonite. Only 5 of those this year, which is last on Cape Cod. Hyannis, though, has struck out the 3rd lowest of anybody. They swipe bags well, too. This offense has just clicked since about Game 6.
And you can win a majority of your games down here in the Cape without being a real true power-hitting team that hits a lot of long balls. I mean, we see it every single year. Small ball is what wins games down here. It's a pitcher's league. A lot of the final scores are 3-0, 3-2, low-scoring games. So if you can be the team who leads, top 5 in average and then steal some bags and have a high OBP, you're going to win most of your games, as has been the case with the Hawks here in 2022.
But here's the problem. When you have a team like Cotuit that can swipe bags and homer.
Here's Dom Patelli with a single to the right field side. The first pitch that he sees from Cohen to start the 5th inning, and the Harbor Hawks have another base runner on. That throw gets away from the first baseman, but there to back it up is Mickness. Throw in from right, that is, and Patelli will stand there with a nice base knock and bring Riku Nishida to the plate. Again, it's 8-9-1 for the Harbor Hawks in the top of the 5th, and they're working with a man on. Can't imagine that you bunt Riku Nishida here, still down 3.
No, I would imagine you don't. Nobody out. I mean, Patelli, good speed enough over at first base for him to steal a bag on his own.
I mean, Riku's batting .250. I mean, he had 2 hits last night. Who says he doesn't get one right here?
First pitch to Riku Nishida. Patelli has stolen 5 bags this year. Cohen goes fastball, and Nishida does bunt, and he's going to bunt it just fair on the right side. The flip to first is in time for the out, but Dom Patelli will be advanced to second base. Look at Nishida, expected that ball to roll foul, so didn't go full speed to first base, but somehow it just stayed fair with the tall grass.
Tall grass, beat up base path after the rain this morning, so yeah, not going to do you any favors.
Now you bring Mitch Jebb, flip the lineup, start again for the Harbor Hawks. Jebb today is 0 for 2.
This is kind of all mud if you look around the infield.
A lot of mud. Glad we played baseball today. Ended up being a pretty nice day. A little hot for my taste.
Oh,
Drake, you're from Texas, Arkansas.
Take the sweatshirt off then, Mr. Toll.
Well, is that indecent exposure? If you're shirtless at a baseball game, the throw back to second, and the pickoff move is successful. Dom Patelli is thrown out at second base. It was Ritter who snuck behind him. Cohen dished it over, and in plenty of time to get Patelli now 2 down and nobody on for Mitch Jebb.
Yeah, not good. I mean, 5 hits now for the Hawks, and they've gotten countless runners into scoring position, just can't come through, and another base running blunder. But I guess on the bright side, 5 hits for each of these teams. It's just one of them has been able to score the runners when they've got on.
First pitch to Cohen from Jebb. Jebb on the right side of the infield gets through. We'll see how they score that one. It looked like Tyler Johnson, the first baseman, was able to get a piece of a glove on it. It still finds its way as a... Well, they haven't scored it.
They just scored an error.
Finds its way as an error, and you put Mitch Jebb at first base.
Now that makes the caught stealing that much more painful. And just to go back to that, it was a really, really nice pickoff move from Cohen, who almost seemed like he was a little bit into his windup, and in one motion went right back to second. He looked like he's practiced that one a million times before.
Tito Flores comes the dish, leads the Harbor Hawks in home runs. Righty-on-righty matchup here against Cohen. Mitch Jebb leads the team in stolen bases with 7. First pitch to Flores is in the dirt, corralled by Mickness. This, too, Riku Nishida bunting right there. I think everybody in this ballpark, everybody on Cape knew that was in play. The infield was up. There was just no way to bunt that for a hit for the Harbor Hawks.
The problem is you saw them try to steal Patelli. I don't know why you don't try to steal Dom during Riku's at-bat and then bunt him.
Yeah.
Because then you could put a runner on third rather than moving up to second. But it's in the past, Didn't work out either way. So
It is in the past.
Yeah.
2-0 to Flores.
No worries.
After a breaking ball outside. See if Flores can get a hold of a baseball. He's batting .327 right now, a couple of homers and 7 RBI. The best hitter on the Harbor Hawk roster. 2-0. Fouls that one off back behind us. Speedy jab over at first base. Harbor Hawks trailing 3-0. That bunt, too, down 3-0. If you're down 1-0, put a runner on second with only 1 out via the sacrifice, okay. Down 3-0, though, you need a little bit of production. Get into the middle of the ball game as well.
Especially with nobody out in the inning, too.
Right.
I mean, you had a real chance to – I still think you try to steal Patelli while Riku's up and then try to let Riku swing or bunt.
Check back to Mitch Jebb at first base, who's in safely.
Almost got him, too.
Good move.
Cohen's got a heck of a pickoff move.
Yeah. Cohen has thrown 61 pitches, 41 for strikes, 20 for balls, 4 2/3 through this ball game. It's a really good pitch count. Now the 2-1 to Flores. Skies that one to left field, foul and out of play.
Just a little bit early. He got a hanging breaking ball in the zone and jumped on it a little bit too soon. Yanked it down the left field line, but the Harbor Hawks have not homered in more than a week, and
power outage.
I wouldn't necessarily say that because they've put runs across most nights, but
not by power.
Yeah,
not by power. And Cotuit leads the league in home runs. You'd like to see maybe
the 2-2 to Flores. He skies that one on the right side of the field. Drifting over is the first baseman Johnson. He's called off, and the ball is dropped. It's going to land foul. Nobody for Cotuit could decide if they wanted to catch it or not, and in the end, they all sat around the baseball as it dropped harmlessly to the dish.
What a huge crowd we got here tonight at Lowell Park, too, and that's how I knew they didn't catch it. The collective awe from the crowd as the ball hit the grass. I can't really see the right field line from our press box.
Luckily, I had a great angle.
Good.
I have the worst angle out of all y'all.
Oh, right.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm sitting. What's the description here?
All right. Yeah, color analyze this one.
So
2-2 to Flores with 2 down.
Separate bench.
Runner over at first base. Here in the top of the 5th. The pitch from Cohen. Runner goes, and Tito Flores fouls that one back behind us. Why not? Might as well send Mitch Jebb right there.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? He gets caught stealing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Tito's swinging most likely.
Right. Now the 2-2. I mean, do you waste a pitch with Cohen here and pitch out in case Jebb goes again?
I wouldn't, because Tito is so dangerous. You really can't
gamesmanship.
afford to go full count on him.
Yeah. The 2-2 from Cohen. Deals it, and Flores skies that one on the infield. Drifting over is Troy. Now everyone's called off. The pitcher, there's a collision, but Cohen still makes the catch. Ritter mowed over his pitcher. But what a play by Harrison Cohen to hold on to the baseball and record the 3rd out of the top of the 5th inning. The Harbor Hawks will strand Mitch Jebb at first base, and they still trail this one 3-0 when we come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
It's rivalry night from Lowell Park, the Harbor Hawks and Cotuit Kettleers. Graham Polley from Duke played for Cotuit the last time these two teams met. Well, Cotuit dropped him. What did he do? He signed with Harwich 6 days ago. Last night, the two teams were playing. Cotuit had a 4-2 lead late, and Graham Polley stepped the dish and had a 2-run hit that accounted for the final score of 4-4 and a tie. Some poetic justice.
Revenge.
Mitch Jebb stands at third base, former Cotuit Kettleer this season, who was dropped by the team in favor of Ryan Ritter at shortstop. He now plays for the Harbor Hawks and has been lights out.
And Jebb wasn't dropped because of a lack of talent. Jebb's a guy that the Kettleers recognized has the talent to play every day on a team in the Cape League, but they felt that they had the infield locked down and didn't have a spot for him, so they dropped him kind of with the understanding that another team here in the Cape would pick him up and play him every day because they knew, I mean, I assume they knew, and that's kind of how it goes.
Are you giving these guys credit?
Oh, not credit, but, I mean, not credit at all.
Well, here's the catch.
You don't get credit for dropping a stud like that, but it is a little bit of a tip of the cap because you're going to let him go play somewhere else rather than just have him sit on your bench.
Maybe a mutual decision.
Now you got to remember
as well.
that, though. A couple weeks from now, maybe a month from now, this Cotuit team could look very different. You have guys up and down the lineup around the field that could be drafted. So
Can tell you what looks different. That's the pitcher on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Zach Volker has come in to relieve Jonathan Fincher. Fincher's day is done after 4 innings thrown. His final stat line, Fincher 4 innings, allows 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and struck out 1 Cotuit Kettleer. Fincher's a guy who's got a limit on his innings as well, so likely the last time we've seen him in a Hyannis Harbor Hawk uniform, but a great year on Cape Cod for Jonathan Fincher, and gives way to Zach Volker, who is from Long Beach State. Well, that's where he played his spring, but is currently in the transfer portal and looking at other universities, and has a great shot to be in the Power 5, Power 6 of college baseball coming next season. Volker on Cape Cod is 0-1. He's pitched in total 8 innings, no earned runs through those 8 innings, 5 hits. He has struck out 8 and been pretty solid for this Harbor Hawk squad.
another arm that maybe has flown under the radar a little bit in this, I'd say, pretty stacked bullpen, but make no mistake, Volk has been just about as rock solid as you could possibly ask for thus far.
Zach Volker stands in, will face Cade Kern out of Ohio State, who's in right field today for Cotuit. The first pitch from Volker to Kern. The righty, long set, the deal, and an off-speed 81 goes slider for a strike on the outside part of the plate.
He's got such a good mix of pitches there. Yeah, your fastball is probably your best pitch, but if you can throw a slider like that on the first pitch you throw of the night for a strike, it's a good sign.
There's a fastball at 91. That one's skied up on the infield. Justin Hyannis comes over and makes the play. Been coined the name Hyannis by our social media intern Sam Watson, and
I thought that was supposed to be secret.
GM Nick Johnson's first response was print the t-shirts. We're just going to skip over it and hope no one heard. Now stepping to the plate is the leadoff hitter, and Victor Scott II, who had success against Jonathan Fincher going 2 for 2, now deals with Zach Volker. Volk from the windup takes a big deep breath, long windup, and deals home. That one's nailed in the center field. Hello, hit number 3 for Victor Scott II. It's a base hit, single, and he stands at first.
Well, he came into the game with 4 hits on the year and has already hit 3 in this game, so that's quite the day.
Gonna get you going.
And he already has stolen a base. We mentioned his numbers already. Doesn't get caught very often. Just 7 times he was caught stealing in 52 attempts at West Virginia. So,
hey, Poncho.
Yeah, be ready.
He's going.
Yep, he already went once. Was trying to go again to steal third. But
Yeah.
the ball was put in play.
Yep.
So, maybe even pitch out here.
Tommy Troy, Stanford product, stands right-handed batter's box. First pitch he sees is a ball, 90-mile-an-hour fastball called low, and wouldn't you know, Victor Scott II doesn't go.
Yeah, well, he's going here then.
Proving us wrong, yeah.
They're just going to keep sending him until he gets caught. Yep.
The 1-0.
Look at him at first.
Volker hasn't checked over to first base yet. Now he deals home. That's a called strike, 89-mile-an-hour fastball, and Victor Scott II stays at first again.
That's a way of checking first without actually throwing over there. You hold the ball longer and longer, as Volker did there. You keep changing up your time from you going to the set to going to the plate, try to throw the runner off.
Volker, the long set, deals it home again. Swing and a miss from Tommy Troy. Still no steal attempt. Troy, in his spring at Stanford, bat .339 for the Trees.
This is a
Trees.
It's the Trees.
It's our mascot.
This is a really good job by Volker to not really allow him to get comfortable at first because he keeps changing up his delivery. Quick step.
The 1-2 to Tommy Troy. That one skied. Poncho Ruiz coming back in foul territory and watches that get out of play. Hits the ticket tent for Cotuit. Looks like everybody's safe and out of the way. It'll be a fun souvenir for one lucky fan.
The breaking ball that Volker threw for a second strike might be the best pitch we've seen thrown by a Hawk all game. When he has his breaking stuff working, generates a lot of swings and misses.
Tommy Troy batting .428 this season. He's only seen 7 at-bats, though. So do take that into account. Now the 1-2 on Troy.
Noted.
Volker deals home. That one's fouled off to our left. And wouldn't you know, Victor Scott II decides to swipe second base, but the ball was foul. He'll trot back to first.
I think you really have to credit Volker here for keeping Scott over on first. He has to go touch the bag. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Waiting for him to do that.
Good eye, Austin Dakuda.
Call him out from here.
A 1-2. That one is flied foul again, out of play. Back behind. Getting way up under the ball. I'm not sure what he's seeing from Volker, or if he's just trying to fight it off with 2 strikes here.
Well, he spoiled a couple good ones.
Looks like that's the goal here until he gets something he likes. Volker, not a big walks guy. Only walked 1 through 8 innings on Cape Cod. That pitch, grounded on the infield. Riku Nishida comes over. Nishida, the throw to first. Riku Nishida on the run. A great play on the chopper from Tommy Troy. Records his second out of the inning. That does advance the runner, Scott, the second, to scoring position. Now you get Tyler Johnson with 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. Still trailing this one 3-0.
You know, it's a nice play when you get a round of applause from the home fans as a visitor, but Riku Nishida generating some oohs and ahs in between yesterday and today. He has been just about lights out in the infield.
He had to charge that ball quickly. Was able to get it over, and now Tyler Johnson steps to the plate. Johnson has 1 for 2 today, has an RBI and has scored a run. First pitch he sees from Volker, 81-mile-an-hour hanging breaking ball at chest level, lays off ball 1. Johnson, the lefty, from Coastal Carolina. A 1-0 from the righty Volker. That one's skied on the infield. Riku Nishida calls it off very loudly. Under, can of corn, makes the play. The Harbor Hawks will strand Scott the second at second base. They still trail this one 3-0, but nothing doing for Cotuit here in the 5th inning. We go to the top of the 6th, but before we do that, we'll send it down to our baseline reporter, Bria Losick.
Thanks so much, Drake. Looking a little bit more at the rivalry between Cotuit and Hyannis, the Patriots Cup Series was first created in 2004 by then Barnstable Patriots sports writer David Curran. The 2 teams from the village of Barnstable face off several times each season for the rights to the Patriot Cup trophy. Cotuit defeated Hyannis earlier this season at McKeon Park 8-1 to get the first rivalry win of the 2022 season. The Kettleers lead the all-time series 12-5, but the Harbor Hawks look to regain the Patriot Cup for the first time since 2015. Back to you guys.
Thank you, as always, Bria. Harbor Hawks trying to even the series today, and we'll see if they can put up a couple runs in the 6th when we come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Traffic is treacherous. There's a fender bender on the pike. Gonna be a wicked commute. The expressway's backed up to the gas tanks. Gridlock. Crawl. Snarl. Jam up. Bottleneck. Log jam. 128 is a parking lot. You'll be late for supper tonight.
Keeping your car road ready is what we do best. At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
Hey, we get you there too.
Having a 5G phone that's not on T-Mobile makes as much sense as playing ice hockey. Using pool noodles. Get out of the penalty box with 5G coverage like this. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. T-Mobile, more 5G bars in more places. Another reason T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Drake Toll alongside Zach Berman, Austin Dakuda, Bria Losick, Abby Stokes, and Ella Gibson are producing the show today on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network as we bring you back in for the top of the 6th inning. And the day is done for Harrison Cohen, the starting pitcher for Cotuit. His final line, 5 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts for the Kettleers. And we see a new arm in number 38 for the guys in white today, Austin.
That we do.
Who is he? Well,
that would be number 30, Cameron Wagoner out of
30.
Eastern Michigan.
No chance. Wow, what eyesight we have.
I had an 8 on the back of there,
absolutely had an 8 there, but luckily we have Zach Berman with us.
Hey,
Zach,
I got
what
a
do you know
different
about
vantage point tonight. Does not have stats for this past season listed from Eastern Michigan. I will continue to dig a little bit. Actually, here you go. He actually started the season with Wareham. And
he's winning a couple more games with Cotuit than he would be with Wareham.
Yeah, I'd say so. In 3 appearances for the Gatemen, he's got an ERA of .450, no wins but a loss on his ledger. and 1 save to his name as well. And hey, I'd be much happier playing in Cotuit than Wareham myself too. So
would you?
Well, it's on Cape Cod.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe
that
you
bodes
wanna,
well for you, you know.
Well, Wareham is the gateway to the Cape.
Yeah. He'll have to face Justin Hyannis. The big righty sets, and the first pitch that he sends to the Illinois product is fouled out of play to the left side. Oh, that was my car.
Was that a sound effect?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the broken
They really
glass
got you on
sound
that one, didn't they?
No, but I did question it at least.
I
wouldn't say really
say
got
no.
me, but like I mean, I considered it.
The 0-1 from Wagoner. Hyannis chases a fastball high and is able to foul it off back behind him. Now down to the count 0-2. Wagoner, the mystery man today.
Didn't pitch his last season either.
Cape Cod broadcast of Harbor Hawk baseball. That's something like that. Not on point streak. Wagoner goes fastball high, eye level, taken for a ball.
Here's what I can give you from Baseball Reference. 2 years at Eastern Michigan, and then last summer with Greenville in the Appy League. Did not pitch in college ball this year.
I promise you, we do as much studying as can be done. As a 1-2 is fastball high, eye level at 95 miles an hour. We do as much studying as can be done. And this guy,
okay,
he's in witness protection.
Well, part of the issue is it's Wagoner, but it's Wagoner.
Wagoner. Right.
So
Justin Hyannis, a base hit into left field. There's a single, and Hyannis will be at first base safely for the Harbor Hawks. Takes a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and goes oppo the other way. Nope, that was a pull. He goes the way that you should go and stands at first base.
Well, with a Wagoner on the mound, I'd love to see these Harbor Hawks circle the wagons and put some runs on the board.
Ooh, 3 out of 10. Stepping to the plate is Nolan Shaniel, who has not quite been 3 out of 10 at the plate this season. Still chasing after the 300 batting average. The lefty stands in against the righty Wagoner. Takes a 81-mile-an-hour curveball and fouls it off to the right side. I'll tell you this, you don't see a lot of guys that are coming out of the MAC, pumping 95 with the fastball, standing at 6'5", from Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Yeah, I think you got that right.
Hope so. The 0-1 now to Nolan Shaniel. Shaniel lines that one foul to the right side, but a good hard hit on a 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Here's what we've just learned. The breaking ball hangs and it's slow.
Yeah.
The fastball at 95,
zip.
You can put it by a few guys. But the breaking ball, Nolan Shaniel jumped on a couple of them. Just a little too far out in front.
I doubt he sees a third in this at bat. Definitely a fastball. Yep.
Fastballs fouled away to the left side, and a solid job by Hyannis to be able to fight that one off. Wagoner does not exist on the scouting chart for the Harbor Hawks that stands in the dugout right now for pitchers across the way.
Was signed this morning and activated today.
Oh, that one's fouled away, and Hyannis Shaniel was able to fight off another with Hyannis over at first base. Nobody down here. One on, top of the 6th. Harbor Hawks trail at 3-0. Played at the Appy League last summer for Greenville. Went 2-2 with a 4.13 ERA. Has a 4.50 ERA. 0-1 for Wareham.
Was also drafted in the 22nd round of the 2019 draft by Drake Toll's Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I don't own them. The 0-2. Shaniel lines one to the right side. Will it stay fair? Yes, it will. Shaniel rounds first. Here comes Hyannis around second, who's going to hold up at third, and Nolan Shaniel in 2 days has 2 doubles, does a little Victor Cruz shimmy, and welcome to the game, Mr. Wagoner. 2 base hits for the Harbor Hawks, and they've got 2 in scoring position with nobody down at the top of the 6th.
Got to come through here if you're Christian Moore in the team now. I mean, second, third, nobody out. Okay.
And a visit to the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers. We're looking out in their bullpen, and there looks like a new arm coming in the game.
Yep.
2 batters faced for Wagoner, and his day as a Kettleer is done. I'll tell you why he's on this roster. Cameron Wagoner picked up this morning, like you mentioned. Over the course of the last 24 hours, Cotuit has lost 3 pitchers from this roster, including the best pitcher in the Cape Cod Baseball League.
So they needed to pick somebody up who was on the
They
Cape.
needed anybody, and they got a pretty good one in Cameron Wagoner, a pretty good one fastball-wise. You saw the breaking ball go the other way a couple of times, and the Harbor Hawks have 2 on, and Cotuit could be in some trouble here with a new pitcher when we come back here from the 6th. 2 on for the Harbor Hawks with nobody down in scoring position, trying to come back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Bronk.
What up, TB?
What do you think my next move should be? Give it to me straight. Maybe it's just time I hang him up.
I got one word for you. Retirement. If you retire now, you're gonna be walking on soft sand in a week. Just come to Florida and feel the wind in your hair. Retirement is like winning another one. Maybe I'll even join you.
On the Spotty Network, this is what Tom heard.
If you retire now, you're soft and weak. Just come to Florida and win another one. Maybe I'll even join you. Just go win another one.
Like it's that easy, Gronk. Maybe it is. I still feel like I have a lot to accomplish.
My goal is to win one more.
And Gronk's coming with me.
I'm retired from retiring? Mom, where are my football pants?
Don't trust big decisions to just any network. Go with T-Mobile, the GO in 5G.
And I'm not soft or weak either.
T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Well, welcome into the ball game, Max Gig. Gig, 6'5", 220 pounds out of Boston College, and he's got some work cut out for him with runners at second and third for the Harbor Hawks after a Nolan Shaniel double. Gig sits with a fastball 92 to 96. He throws a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. That slider at 79 to 83 can be devastating. He throws fastballs 70% of the time as well. And his stuff at Boston College was, well, nothing short of awesome. 2.78 ERA and 22 2/3. He did walk 19, so his control is an issue, but he struck out 26.
Yeah, and he only allowed the 14 hits. So clearly, when he's got good movement when he's on, but the control, as you mentioned, can be a problem. I mean, but going off of that, the ERA at just 2.78 shows how good he is at limiting runners from scoring, and that's what they're going to ask him to do here. Second and third, no outs.
Christian Moore steps the dish from Tennessee. Moore, the designated hitter today. Cotuit has walked 65 guys. That 65 walk mark is 4th worst in the league. That's the issue for Gig, control. Now, if the control's there, especially with the fastball at 96 miles an hour, he'll be okay. But if it's not, the Harbor Hawks can strike here. Moore, the righty, standing in, righty on righty matchup. First pitch he sees, it's the slider, looked like 83 on the outside.
Really good movement on it, but he didn't start it over the plate. He started it on the outside part, so it breaks into the left-handed batter's box. When you throw that pitch starting over the middle half, breaking outside, you'll get a lot of swings and misses on it.
The 1-0 pitch now to Christian Moore. Como could actually tie the game with one swing of the bat. 1-0 from Gig. Goes breaking ball again, can't spot. That one is low and outside at 82 miles an hour, same pitch.
Of course, Gig, no stranger to the Cape. He spent part of last summer with the Kettleers as well. In 7 games, he had a ERA of 150.
That's pretty good. Now the 2-0 to Christian Moore. Moore walked 4 times last night, right behind Riku Nishida as the best on the team when it comes to seeing the ball. The 2-0. There's the off speed, same pitch at 83, slider for a strike. Talk about the 6'5" frame from Lynn, Massachusetts, a local guy. Probably grew up coming to Cape Cod League baseball games. Now the 2-1 to Como. Righty deals. Christian Moore tags out one of the third baseman. The throw over to first is in time for the out. And no harm done for the Cotuit Kettleers as Karros makes the play.
That's a tough one. You need to get a run in. I mean, especially with nobody out, second and third. Now it's really monumental for Cole McConnell to come through here. He already has 2 hits tonight. But you got to push a run across.
Cole McConnell steps to the plate for the Harbor Hawks, trying to get something done here. Plenty of runners in scoring position for Hyannis tonight, just nothing doing with it. McConnell, as you said, 2 for 2 in this ball game, batting .313 on the year. First pitch he sees from Gig, 95 miles an hour, eye level. Good afternoon.
Yeah, he's got elite velocity. We mentioned he can touch up to 96 with the fastball, and 95 is tough to see.
The 1-0 from Max Gig. Yeah, you go from a righty throwing 95 to a righty throwing 95.
Not easy.
McConnell takes 93 low and inside.
Well, the Hawks have typically done better, I'd say, against higher velo guys than they have against, like we've mentioned, you know, your Michael Sansones, your guys that throw high 80s. But when you have someone whose breaking ball also dips down to the low 80s, that creates a really, really, really difficult situation for the batters.
Another 2-0 count for Gig. Now he comes fastball. That's chest level and called for a strike. That pitch is right across where it says Hyannis on McConnell's jersey, and I guess they're getting that one this evening at Lowell Park.
Typically not a strike in the Cape Cod League. Usually it's a little bit of a lower zone.
Anywhere in baseball.
Yeah.
The 2-1 now to McConnell. That one's cut on and missed. 84 with a slider. Spotted that one well, and now a 2-2 count.
Well, the previous pitch being called a strike forces you to go after that one. Probably not a pitch Cole can do a ton with it being a little bit up in the zone, but 2-2, 2-on. You got to adjust here and at least put the ball in play on the right side.
Gotten a few bones on that one so far in this
one.
2-2 to McConnell. With Nolan Shaniel at second base, Justin Hyannis at third, trying to put something together here in the top of the sixth, down 3-0. The 2-2 pitch, McConnell, broken bat. Ritter at short, bobbles the ball. He can't make the play. The Harbor Hawks are going to score one. Coming home is Justin Hyannis. Standing at second still is Nolan Shaniel. Cole McConnell is at first. There was that bat splintered over toward the Harbor Hawk dugout. It was right at Ritter, a slow roller, and he just couldn't field it.
Well, with the way the game was going, it was going to take a big break for the Hawks to score a run, and in this case, that's literal. How about that?
They've out-hit the Kettleers tonight. Just the first run that's come across, and if you're Pancho Ruiz, this would be a big time for you to wake up at the plate a bit and come through.
Pancho's 1 for 2 today.
Let's go, buddy.
Righty on righty matchup. Has McConnell at first, Nolan Shaniel at second. Two guys with some solid speed in the first pitch he sees. 94 down the pipe, watches strike one.
It's a great location for the fastball at 94. Just paints the inside corner right at the knees. And really a tough pitch to do anything with unless you're sitting that spot, which first pitch of the at-bat, you're not going to be.
Harbor Hawks are on the board for the first time today. Still trailing 3-1, but the go-ahead run is at the plate in the top of the sixth. Next pitch to Pancho, breaking ball 82, swung on and missed.
That breaking ball is just devastating, like you mentioned. Starts out about belt high and then wound up dropping all the way down to borderline sock level. Ridiculous amount of break on that pitch.
Ruiz down 0-2. Let's see if they go with the old Zach Berman, buzz it across your eyes at 95.
It's got to be a little bit to the outside to be the Zach Berman, buzz it across your eyes at 95. Up and away.
0-2 to Pancho. Gig deals. Pancho skies that one on the infield. Should be an infield fly. That is the call. Calling everybody off as the second baseman Tommy Troy makes the catch. Wouldn't have mattered, but that puts two down. And coming to the plate for Harbor Hawks is Dominic Patelli, who's 1 for 2 today. He's got a hit and a strikeout.
Well, there's a couple situations you don't want to have happen in that spot. First and second, one out. You got to stay with the double play, which he does. And the other thing you don't want to happen is a pop up to the infield.
Yeah.
I mean, you try to move the runners, but for Pancho, that's really just not a productive out.
With 2 down and 2 on for Dom Patelli. First pitch he sees. He shows bunt, pulls it back. The ball's in the dirt. Throw back to second's not in time.
Yep, he was safe.
Patelli was able to get that bat back, and he'll be ahead in the count 1-0. Again, control issues for Gig have been there across his career. In today's game, though, he started slow. First 6 pitches through 4 balls, but he's now at 13 pitches, 8 of them for strikes.
He settled in nicely, just takes a couple to get going, and now he's really done a nice job at almost navigating through this tough spot.
The 1-0 to Patelli. That one's in the dirt, and Gig dishes another 2-0 count to a Harbor Hawk batter.
Well, it was just 24 hours ago when Dominic Patelli, in the top of the 6th inning last night, had his 2-run single that doubled the lead for Hyannis. It wound up being a fatal blow for Wareham. Let's see if he can go back-to-back nights, similar spot with a big clutch hit.
I'd take something more than a single, but I'd take that too. Now the 2-0. That one's in the dirt. Just about 6 inches off the plate, and now 3-0 to Dom Patelli. If Patelli is to reach, well, you bring up again, I'll say it. I'm going to say it confidently. The toughest out on the team still in Riku Nishida, who's now brought his average up to 244. The 3-0 to Patelli. There's a called strike. Fastball 93 on the inside half of the plate.
Now on 3-1, you're still going to be selective. You're looking for a spot, something that you can drive, probably a fastball, but if you get one of those off-speed pitches, it would be probably beneficial just to lay off of it.
The 3-1 from Max Gig to Dominic Patelli. Patelli watches a called strike just below the knees, and I see Zach Berman throws the hands up. I'm with you there, Zach. That one looked low.
I don't think it was a called strike. I think he went around. That's what I think the ruling was.
Well, the umpire signaled a strike call. Now the 3-2 with 2 down and 2 on here in the top of the 6th. Harbor Hawks trail it by 2.
They'll be in motion on the pitch.
Payoff from Max Gig. Checks over to second base. Deals home. Dom Patelli fouls one off, and the high-pressure situation will carry on.
It's a good spoil by Patelli. Fastball at 95 in on the hands, and you can't really do anything with that, but keep yourself alive.
Lefty Patelli. Righty Gig. Runners will go again. It's McConnell at first, Shaniel at second. Riku Nishida stands the on-deck circle. Righty Gig. From the stretch, the payoff pitch. That one's fouled away again. He'll spoil another, and the at-bat continues.
Same pitch, 95 in on the hands. Nothing you could do with it but just continue the at-bat. And Patelli has come up clutch in some big spots. This could be the biggest spot in the year he's faced so far, and you get one into the gap.
Gig trying to hold the lead for the Kettleers. Dom Patelli trying to put the Hawks on top.
I'd say a gapper ties the game with McConnell off of first.
From the stretch, the check over the payoff. Dom Patelli takes it eye level. Gig loses control on the 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and hello, Riku Nishida.
You know, we've talked about Dom having some great at-bats down the stretch. His plate discipline has definitely improved in the last few weeks. Maybe Dom Patelli that shows up a couple days ago, heck, even a couple weeks ago, strikes out earlier in that bat. Not today, and he has put the Hawks in a situation where a base hit potentially ties the game.
Riku Nishida is 0 for 1 today. Did have a sac bunt earlier.
Max, you're good. You're all set.
He's got the bases juiced. The lefty sets, and he's ready. He'll hold the bat way up high. Bring it back down. The antics from Nishida. Max Gig deals. Gig has a strike on the inside part of the plate at 93. A lot on the line here. Nishida had 2 hits last night, was the roll-a-bump limited player of the game. Holds the bat way above his head, brings it down belt level. Shimmies, shimmies, the 0-1 from Gig. Gig puts it in the dirt, blocked up by Mickness.
Terrific block there by Mickness. That's a big-time play. He slides to the right, squares it up, and deadens the ball off the chest in front of him. That's what you teach catchers to do, especially with runners on base. That's just a monumental stop.
Now a 1-1 count on Nishida. Riku is 11 for 44 this season, just 2 RBI on his year. Batting in the 9-hole. The 1-1 from Gig. Nishida fouls that off to the left side, out of play. Now 1-2, down to the count. 94 miles an hour from Gig. Gig has thrown a total of 23 pitches since coming in. Nolan Shaniel's at third. Cole McConnell's at second. Dom Patelli's at first, and Riku Nishida at the bat with 2 down, 2 strikes on him here in the top of the 6th. The pitch from Gig. Nishida grounds out to the right side. Second baseman comes over, fields. Will Gig be at first in time? Yes, he will. Gig runs over to first, covers the bag, and the flip from Tyler Johnson gets Riku Nishida and gets the Cotuit Kettleers out of the jam. Hyannis is able to put up 1 run, and they still trail this one 3-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Welcome back to the Harbor Rock Baseball Network. Drake Toll in the Tim Elstrom broadcast booth with Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, Bria Losick, as well as Zach Volker comes back out to throw the bottom of the sixth for the Harbor Hawks. And, well, we haven't mentioned it yet, but it's a good time as ever. There are no lights at Lowell Ballpark, so if the sun goes down, so does the baseball game.
Well, the sun has been replaced by a consistent cloud cover coming out to our west. And
is that west?
Yes, that is
very nice.
That is west, but the rain seems to be about, per my weather app, 8:30 p.m. So I don't think we're going to get rained out. Knock on wood.
Crazy how the weather thing works. There was a lot of it today until there wasn't anymore.
Yeah, right.
Harbor Hawks and Cotuit Kettleers vying for the Patriot Cup today. Stepping up to the box. To the plate into the box for Cotuit is the 4-hole hitter Brooks Baldwin. Hello, Brooks. Good afternoon. His day, 1 for 3, has an RBI and a run scored. Baldwin out of UNC Wilmington. Zach Volker raises the glove high above his head, coming from the windup. Takes a long time to fire home, and here comes the pitch. That one's skied on the right side of the field. Playable for Nolan Shaniel, who camps out under it. Nolan Shaniel grabs the first out of the bottom of the sixth on one pitch. Boy, wouldn't you love, too, if you're the Harbor Hawks, to get a quick 3-up, 3-down. They've already done it once on 3 pitches from Fincher earlier in this game. You get a quick 3-up, 3-down, and force Gig to go back out there, having only had a couple of minutes to sit after a 25-pitch inning.
Well,
That'd be ideal.
That'd be the objective.
There is a right-hander warming in the Kettleer bullpen, but we'll see if it's Gig who comes back out next inning.
Kyle Caros takes a ball to the outside. I'd like to let you know, if you're listening on YouTube, go to Mixlr. Download the Mixlr app, MIXLR. Download the app, search Harbor Hawks. You'll find us live on Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. The 1-0 pitch from Volker. There's a swing and a miss, little half swing from Kyle Caros. And now the count evens at 1-1.
Look, we're going to see both managers, I assume, be pretty aggressive with their bullpens given the level of significance in this ball game. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Cotuit be especially aggressive.
The 1-1 from Volker. That one's hit back up middle. Riku Nishida comes over, dives, makes the play, throw to first in time.
A wizard.
Wow.
A second base wizard. Riku Nishida can get to any ball to the right side of the infield, but what talent he has to slide, come up, and make a strong throw and beat a speedy base runner by about 15 feet. Riku Nishida is going to be on ESPN Top 10 Plays multiple times throughout his career.
Hey, he did that a couple times last night, and there are very few players on the Cape that make that play look routine, and somehow Riku makes it look easy as 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Cody Schreier, lefty, steps into the left-handed batter's box. 6'1", 190 out of UCLA. UCLA, a member of the Big Ten Conference, soon to be.
2024.
Oh, I didn't know it was that quick. Wow. Today, on his day. Oh, hello. It's not him anymore. Pinch hitter.
See ya.
Pearson has come in.
Thanks for coming.
Number 25 for the Kettleers. First pitch he sees from Volker. That one's skied on the left and out of play.
Josh Pearson out of a school that is decidedly not changing conferences anytime soon in Louisiana State or LSU.
Not Josh Pearson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That would be correct.
They have one of those?
You don't know?
No.
The 0-1 to Pearson. Volker 80 miles an hour, high and outside, ball one.
This Josh Pearson's an outfielder. What position does one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play?
Don't do that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to be able to tell you.
Well, in 8 games this year for
Google
Cotuit, Pearson a 176 average, 1 RBI.
Hey, why not put him in? 3 for 17. There's a breaking ball, high and outside again. 2-1 from Volker.
Hey, Victor Scott came into this one cold as ice, and he's got 3 hits, so you never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. 2-1. Righty on lefty. Volk sets and deals. There's a fastball, high heat, 90, chest level, ball 3. Josh Pearson was originally in the starting lineup for LSU. Played there a good portion of the season, 3-1 to him. That one's chipped into the glove of Pancho Ruiz. Now the count at 3-2. He struck out 41 times, walked 22 times, had a .299 batting average, but a .432 OBP. Huh.
That'll play.
Yeah.
.432 OBP.
Right, the walks aren't drastically high.
No.
And the guy was just good at generating. Oh, swing and a miss. Zach Volker gets him down on the 3-2 pitch with a breaking ball. No, fastball low, 92 miles an hour. How about this? Here's how his OBP's so high. He got hit by 14 freaking pitches in the spring.
Is that Justin Hyannis?
This guy's a magnet.
Josh Pearson.
And when we come back to the top of the 7th, the Harbor Hawks trail by 2, trying to generate more offense on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
What are you looking forward to?
Adding a takeout window.
And more locations.
Paying off my student loans.
Juggling my 4 small businesses and staying sane.
Raising my allowance.
Finishing my painting and starting the next one.
Catching a keeper. Cashing anything.
Making the most of my retirement.
Checking my balance and hopefully having one.
Whatever you want for your family, your business, or your community, talk to us at Cape Cod 5 because we're looking forward to helping you.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College Continuing and Graduate Studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news. Some were skeptical. So we're not going to have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
It's that old-time rock and roll by Bob Seger that pumps through the speakers here at Lowell Park. If you were to bet, dead or alive, Bob Seger, what would you bet?
Not going to bet on that.
Come on, dead or alive, Bob Seger.
No.
Bob Seger.
I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
Had you said alive, you would have bet correctly.
I
And
just
if you
said
buy
he's
a
still
lottery ticket tonight, well,
Yeah, it was
you
terrible.
probably have much worse odds than the 50-50 that you do on Bob Seger, dead or alive. But you do have Massachusetts State Lottery as a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. They're celebrating the games that we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. Here's to 50 years of winning and a very limited 50 more.
51.
Finite. Yeah, in the next 50 years, that lottery thing.
You better
done.
win in the next 50.
Yep, that's all you got. Saw it today, up to $20 million on the lottery, and the Powerball's $300 million.
Oh, well.
Speaking of power, 91 miles an hour on the warm-up pitch from a new pitcher for the Cotuit Kettleers.
And that would be Max Meyer, another local kid out of Lawrence
Meyer?
Academy in Groton, Massachusetts, but he decided to continue his schooling across the country at Stanford, so return to New England for Meyer. And
I hear that Stanford's got pretty good academics.
I would say so. And 3 seasons at Stanford, a collective ERA of 7.11. Last season, he spent it with
always
7
open.
what? Yeah.
He spent it with Ocean State in the
Yeah, he did.
NECBL.
Ocean State.
John
Not even a
State.
state. Not even a state.
7.84 ERA in 7 appearances.
Whose idea was that?
And as we look at his stats right now, I believe he's one of the newer pitchers to this Kettleer roster.
Yeah, they've added about 7 today, so Myers.
He's got no stats.
Yeah, Myers probably in that bunch.
Ocean State Waves?
No chance that's their mascot.
State Waves.
No chance that's their mascot.
It is.
Whose idea? Who do we fire?
It's somewhere in Rhode Island.
Stepping into the batter's box, the leadoff hitter of the ball game. That's Mitch Jebb out of Michigan State. First pitch he sees, that's a called strike at 92 miles an hour. And, well, I think the pitcher's name is Max.
2 straight pitchers named Max.
Yeah, you go from one Max to another. This Max, though, a little more mysterious than the last. What do you know about him?
What I know is he's got a low arm slot, which makes it tough to pick up that 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball.
Very good.
Yeah, and he also comes into this appearance without anything.
Nope,
so
nothing. This
not
guy
a thing.
has not existed on paper. Andy Dufresne coming into the game. 1-1 to Mitch Jebb. That's a ball low. Nope, that's not. That's a called strike. That's a called strike.
Well, the only thing I can tell you about Max Meyer is that he's got more recorded pitching outings than, should I say, Jack Hausinger last night for Wareham.
I would hope so, because he is a pitcher.
Right. Hopefully this is not a position. It's not a position.
Not a position.
Did we check that on the roster?
We did.
All right. Now the 1-2 to Mitch Jebb after the called strike. That was a ball. That one hit in a line by Jebb and through for a base hit on the left side. It's collected by the left fielder Kern, who dishes it in, but Mitch Jebb stands safely at first base. Mitch Jebb for the Harbor Hawks. First hit of the day, now 1 for 4.
How a way to start off the inning now. Your leadoff man aboard, nobody out, but Drake, it's so, I guess, not depressing, but 1 run, 8 hits, right? 3 runs, 6 hits. So, I mean, you're out hitting this team by a couple. You have 8 hits. You just have the 1 run. You really, really need them to start to piece it together and score some runs here, because you don't want to walk away from this thing out hitting your opponent but losing the game.
You know what else is significant about the number 8? That's the amount of games straight that Mitch Jebb has amassed a hit.
First pitch to Tito Flores here. Flores sends deep to left field. Going back is Kern. Over is Kern. Is going to land for extra bases. Tito Flores is headed for second. Nobody's there. And that's going to move Mitch Jebb to third base. Flores to second. I cannot believe there was not a defender at second base, and now the Harbor Hawks have 2 in scoring position with nobody down.
What have we said about Tito Flores? Hitting in big moments. When the stakes are high, Tito lets it fly. And now, for the second time in 2 innings, second and third, nobody out, with the heart of the lineup coming to the plate. And Hyannis had 2 RBIs yesterday. He's starting to feel it at the dish. How about right now for your first home run on Cape Cod, Justin Hyannis?
Hello, Tito. Nice stuff with the double there to left field.
Oh, a base hit also could score both, because Flores has decent speed at second.
Hyannis, 2 for 3 today. Hyannis takes a foul ball hard to the left side, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. We've talked about it. Zach, you mentioned it earlier. If you get a righty, a lefty, anybody throws 88 miles an hour, Harbor Hawks are not touching it. Now, the second that you start hitting the low to mid-90s, son, watch out.
Hello.
Watch out. Harbor Hawks have got something cooking here in the top of the 7th with 2 in scoring position and nobody down. The 0-1 pitch to Justin Hyannis from Meyer. That one's in the dirt.
Well, now you also have to be beware. And granted, Mickness has been rock solid behind the plate. The the wild pitch, which has been the sneaky MVP for Hyannis this season, definitely in play.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of those.
Well, Hyannis at the plate, I feel like we've seen 4 or 5, too.
Yeah.
Seems to always be up.
From Max Meyer to Justin Hyannis. No bunt here from Hyannis. Fouls that one off out of play to the left. And
I mean, a couple of good swings, though. Fouling off that one. 92 on the hands. Not really a lot you can do besides spoil it. Now 1-2, you have to be aware of the off speed below the knees.
Max Meyer, I found his Twitter account.
Oh.
So we are
way to dig.
Getting somewhere here. Pac-12 academic honor roll.
Not to be confused with Max Meyer, former first-round
if you're getting
pick
honor
by
roll
the
at
Miami
Stanford.
Marlins.
Well,
Jeez,
every Stanford guy should be honor roll for the Pac-12.
Yeah.
No knock on the Pac-12. It's just Stanford. The 1-2. Jebb at third. Showed as if he's going to steal home. Will not happen. The 1-2 pitch. Hyannis fouls that one hard off to the right side.
Heads up.
That one was foul by a good portion, but man, licked the off speed.
A little bit out in front, but
that's unsanitary.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
No.
Not Zach Berman approved.
Not even considering it.
The 1-2 to Justin Hyannis with 2 in scoring position. Harbor Hawks down by 2. Pitch from Meyer. There's a strike. Not a strike. A fastball taken for a ball at the numbers that we've seen called a strike a couple of times.
Way to come back around there, Mr. Toll. And yes, indeed, that was a bit high in the zone and a tough pitch to lay off, but a really disciplined hitter at the
strike. Not a strike. That 2-2 here from Hyannis. Meyer from the stretch and the funky arm slot. Hyannis grounds that one up the middle. Second baseman's playing in. And the throw over to first is in time, but Mitch Jebb will stay at third base.
And that's the right read by Jebb because he would have been out by a country mile had he tried to go home.
Yeah, that's why you bring the infield in.
Yep. Oh, boy, that ball almost popped over the head of Tommy Troy, though.
Yeah, McKeon Park, I think it might.
Probably so. Can't say that.
No, it's not. That's just the way the infield plays there.
Well, also
it's not a bad thing.
Also, a little bit of mud in the infield dirt, you're not going to get as much bounce off of it.
Go, Mac.
Now stepping to the plate is Nolan Shaniel out of FAU. First pitch he sees from Myers, a breaking ball. Shaniel fouls that one off of his right leg.
Shaniel, fringe Team USA guy, already a double on the night and a walk as well. You feel like he's a guy still looking for his signature moment as a Hyannis Harbor Hawk, and what better time and place than right about now?
13 for 61, 213 average this year, 4 RBI. He's one of the guys that the Harbor Hawks expect to stick around Hyannis for a while. You have a lot of guys leave for the draft or Team USA. They think that Nolan Shaniel will be their guy for the rest of the summer.
Go, Mac.
The 0-1 pitch to him. With 1 down, 2 on for the Harbor Hawks in scoring position. Trying to tie things up here in Cotuit. The pitch.
Nice pitch.
Fouled away. Out to the left.
That's a good
now
pitch.
An 0-2 count.
But a good pitch to do something with, too. 91, kind of right at the thigh level. Something you can turn on. Shaniel just behind it a bit. You got to get a run in here. Second and third, you had nobody out. Now with 1 out, you really need to push one of these runners across to stay in this ball game. Can't keep squandering opportunities with the guys on scoring position.
The righty Max Meyer. The 0-2 pitch to Nolan Shaniel is in the dirt. Good. Not even good. Elite job by Mickness to keep that from getting away from him behind the dish.
This is a tie game with a less talented catcher behind the plate.
Yeah, I mean, we know how good the catchers are in this league, but Mickness has impressed a lot today. Right. I don't think one ball has gotten to the backstop behind him.
Such a key to their success.
Yeah.
Now 1-2. And time is called by Shaniel. Oh, boy, you could cut the tension with a knife. A great crowd here at Lowell Park as well. Ended up being a beautiful night for baseball.
Bark at the Park night, is that what they called it?
That's right. And what a game we've got here. The 1-2 pitch to Nolan Shaniel. A hit scores 2. Max Meyer delivers. Shaniel swings and misses at a fastball, chest level.
Well, that's a pitch that if you're the pitcher, you throw that to try to get somebody to chase, and Nolan Shaniel has done that a couple of times this year where he's gone outside the zone on a high fastball. That's really a good scouting job by the Cotuit Kettleers to go to that spot because it's a pitch that Shaniel likes to chase a bit. And very unfortunate turn of events for the Hawks, but second and third, nobody out now with 2 outs, Drake. Not ideal.
No, and they've already stranded plenty tonight. Here in the 7th, you need to strike. You're running out of outs. 2 down and Christian Moore at the dish. Righty-righty matchup. Moore watches a fastball 89 in the outside part of the plate for a strike. Moore looking for his signature hit for the Harbor Hawks. Had a 2-out triple against Chatham last Sunday that sparked a big 2-out rally against Carson Wisenon. Looking for a big hit here. The 0-1 fouls that one away to the right side. Moore falls down in the count, 0-2. Facing Max Meyer, who pitched 16 innings in the spring for Stanford and allowed 25 hits, 13 earned runs, struck out 16. He only walked 4. Control not an issue, but whip is. The 0-2 to Tennessee's Christian Moore. There's a breaking ball outside, low. Ball 1.
Well, that's a pitch where he's trying to get Moore to chase. And, you know, maybe some batters might chase their more typically very, very good in terms of plate discipline. Nice job to hold back there and not even think about it.
Moore had 10 home runs at Tennessee in the spring. Great power, and has been great since he got to Hyannis. The 1-2 to the designated hitter, Moore. Meyer deals it. He watches a ball low and outside, 80 miles an hour. And when I say it missed, it sure didn't miss by much.
I think everybody in the ballpark thought it was a strike. We have a good vantage point here behind the plate for sure. Probably the best vantage point we have of the strike zone anywhere on Cape Cod and
Wareham.
2-2 with 2 down, 2 in scoring position. Harbor Hawks trail by 2. The pitch from Meyer to Moore. He deals it. Moore watches the ball in the dirt.
What a big-time take that is by Christian Moore to not chase. You've seen the breaking ball a couple times. Could go back to the fastball here, but you really have to be ready to protect the plate.
If Moore is walked, Cole McConnell is in the on-deck circle behind him. Not a bad bat to have there if you're the Harbor Hawks. He's already got a couple of hits tonight.
He's reached all 3 times.
Twice safely, but yeah, he's been on base all 3.
Now the 3-2 to Christian Moore. 2 down, 2 in scoring position. Harbor Hawks needing a hit. The payoff pitch from the big righty, Max Meyer. He deals home, and Moore watches ball 4.
That is an all-pro at-bat from Christian Moore, battling back from down 0-2 in the count. Took a couple that could have gone either way. Incredible job to hold up. Hey, he's shown ridiculous discipline at the plate.
Meyer was not throwing that pitch for a strike either. He wanted Moore to chase, couldn't get it, and now you got to deal with Cole McConnell. McConnell steps to the plate, 2 for 3 today, batting .306 on the season. Has the second best batting average on this team. You hear the Harbor Hawk fans that have made the trip out to Cotuit getting loud. The bases are juiced with 2 down here, and Cole McConnell at the dish needing a base hit. First pitch he sees. How about a fastball 91 for a called strike?
Drake, that right center field gap between Scott and Kern is looking awfully tempting. They're shaded just about straight away, and a gapper at least ties the game, maybe clears them.
Standing at first base is Moore. He represents the go-ahead run. A tying run at second base, Tito Flores. Mitch Jebb is at third. Jebb's been there for a long time. The 0-1 to McConnell. He watches a ball low and inside.
Great take by Cole McConnell. He's tried to throw that breaking pitch about 79-80 for a strike a couple times in the inning, but it's been too low in the zone, hasn't been able to locate it. Now the count's even here. You're back in a spot looking for a fastball.
McConnell now a 1-1 count, and everybody holding their breath here in the top of the 7th inning. Harbor Hawks trail by 2. 1-1 from Meyer. McConnell swings and misses. 91 fastball inside.
Hey, there's still 4 more games between Cotuit and Hyannis, and if the drama is anything quite like tonight, we could be in for plenty of nail-biters the next month and change. But
2 of the top 3 teams in the league squaring off here.
Got to be ready for another fastball.
The 1-2 now to Cole McConnell. Meyer comes home. McConnell skies it to left field. McConnell sees the left fielder camp out and make the catch. Coming over, making the play is Kern, and that will do it for the Harbor Hawks 7th. They will strand 3 guys. They had runners on second and third with nobody out and couldn't do anything with it. They still trail it by 2 here on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant Bottle, designed to make a difference.
Well, it's time to stretch here at Lowell Park, and speaking of stretches, Zach Berman's T-Mobile read last night was a bit of a stretch, and speaking of T-Mobile, well, they are a corporate sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Dog, I'm catching strays from a table away.
T-Mobile's proud to sponsor the Cape League. They're committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more. The Harbor Hawks, Zach, they have 9 hits, 1 run.
You know, every team just sometimes has those nights. You get traffic on the base paths, nothing to show for it other than a run. I mean, credit to the Kettleer pitching and the job they've done to keep those runners from coming home, but the Hawks have been able to rally late in games before. They've done it in the 8th. They've done it in the 9th. You get the sense that should Zach Volker keep the lead here at 2 for Cotuit, this game is far from over.
Well, the first batter that he'll have to deal with is Ritter, who steps in. Ryan Ritter, the shortstop out of Kentucky.
I think the most telling stat today, Harbor Hawks pitching, who's been great all season long with the punch-outs, only has struck out 2 Kettleers today.
Yeah. First pitch he sees from Volker, 80 miles an hour, swing and a miss on the, it looked like a changeup, slider.
Yeah, it's tough to tell with Volker because of the cross arm action that he brings across his body, but yeah, definitely some movement kind of right to left on that.
Yep. The 0-1.
Well, that's a breaking ball.
True curveball, 74 and low.
You can tell his breaking ball a little bit. As we see these guys pitch more and more throughout the season, we're able to start picking up on which pitch is which. With Volker, you can see he really snaps off that breaking ball, and it sits about 5 to 6 miles an hour slower than his changeup and slider.
The 1-1 now to Ryan Ritter. That one's cut to the left side. Mitch Jebb scoops it. Mitch Jebb, the throw to first, is in time to retire the speedy shortstop.
It's a good at-bat there by Volker. Make him hit one on the ground. That's why you keep going after him with the off-speed, the breaking ball. You get them to roll over. You have such a good defensive infield that you'd like to keep the ball on the ground because the Kettleers are going to put it in play. If we've seen nothing else, we know that. So might as well make them play to your strength, which is your infield defense.
Here comes the plate, Justin Mickness out of Kent State. His junior year.
Might be the unsung hero of the game.
290, 385 OBP, 489 slugging. First pitch that he sees from Zach Volker is a called ball inside 91 miles an hour. Well, Zach Berman, you know what state Kent State is in?
I believe it's in Ohio.
It is in Ohio.
You thought you were going to get him.
I thought so. I didn't think I was going to get him. It's Zach. I knew Zach had that one in the bag.
You're not fooling me on geography.
You would have got me on that.
Nope. The 1-0. Sky to left field. I should have delivered that one to you. I was much more confident that you'd have
it would have been Kentucky.
Fat Kentucky.
Yeah, that's what you were going to get.
Kent State located in what city in Ohio, Zach Berman?
That I don't know.
Okay. Stumped you there.
Boo.
I mean, I've driven through Ohio more times than I can count. It's just I've never really...
How high can you count?
I've never really done anything in the state of Ohio.
1-1 to Mickness. That one's fouled up and away, the left side. 1-2 count now to him from Volker.
I mean, look.
I'm looking.
I've been to Cedar Point, which is a roller coaster capital of the world, one
Obviously.
time, and that's the only thing I've ever done in the state of Ohio other than eat, sleep, get gas,
It's the roller coaster capital of the world. That's what he said.
I just want to make sure I heard
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that a Berman bingo for you?
Yeah, actually, it might just be, but I am 2 away from the complete bingo.
There's a 1-2. High pop fly over to Dominic Patelli at short, who makes the grab.
How about Zach Volker out of the bullpen today?
Yeah, a couple of Zachs who I favor today, both Zach Berman and Zach Volker.
Hey, Volker has been to this point
having good days.
2 2/3, just 1 hit, no walks or runs for the guy on the mound. And for the guy in the booth, you've put up similar stats today.
I would say so, but hey, Volker to this point,
you've been left on base 3 times.
He's now thrown 8 full innings as a Hyannis Harbor Hawk, and just like Lowell Park, lights out.
Yeah, 8 full innings coming into this one.
So now he's now thrown 10 2/3 on the year.
Right. Volker will face Cade Kern, who gave way from Mickness gave way too, as he fouls one off right back behind him. Kern from Ohio State University.
Now, I can tell you where that one is.
Right,
that would be
right.
in Duluth.
Look at you go. Minnesota, Central Minnesota. Try to fool you.
That's it.
306 batting average in the spring, 364 OBP as he cuts and skies one to right field. Going over and having room, according to the dugout, is Nolan Shaniel, who makes the catch. What great speed in the outfield from a guy who we usually see at first base, and almost had to dive to get to that baseball, found a way at the fence. Shaniel, have a day in the field.
You may not see a better catch than that. Right up against the fence in the range for the first baseman turned outfielder to feel his way. And you said it, Drake. What a catch.
Did I say it? Is that, I sang it more
Either way.
On the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, you need a partner, not just an agent. For over 50 years, Gibson Sotheby's International Realty has set the standard in excellence and performance. A seasoned team that has thrived throughout all markets. Our agents live and work in your neighborhood and understand you. We are over 170 agents strong, backed by an in-house marketing team and global reach that is second to none.
From studios to penthouses, purchasing to renting, our team provides unparalleled real estate services.
This is your time to change your career, to advance your skills, to follow your dream. Curry College continuing in graduate studies. Tomorrow is coming. Be ready.
I'm defeated, feel mistreated. I'm so angry, I'm singing a song. 'Cause I'm paying so much for home internet, and that's just wrong.
I've got T-Mobile home internet. I feel happy. Great. Very happy.
Good for you.
Look how much money I'm saving right now.
Wait, really?
There's no hidden fees, no price hikes, one cord.
Bro, wow.
Internet without BS.
It's the pride of Georgia Southern, Ben Johnson, who's come out the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers. And get this, if I can count that high, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth pitcher Cotuit has thrown tonight.
Good job counting, well done.
Hyannis has 9 hits, only 1 run, and they bring in Ben Johnson to replace Max Meyer, who prior to Max Meyer was Max Gigg, who prior to that was Wagoner, prior to that was Cohen. In case you're wondering.
It's rare for a team to use this many pitchers in a game where they've
on
only
a huge weekend, too.
Big weekend. Still a couple of games ahead because all these teams are in the middle of a long stretch. To number one, use this many pitchers, and number two, in a game where you've only allowed 1 run.
I've got the numbers on the Cape Cod League season for one Ben Johnson, who has come out now. Johnson made his first appearance against YD, went 1 2/3 in a loss, allowed 2 hits and walked 2, facing 8 batters as well. Then against YD in a 4-1 win, goes 1 1/3, allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout through 5 batters faced. And then in the tie against Harwich last night, he faced 1 batter.
Hey, you mentioned YD, and
he pitched yesterday.
That does not happen at all.
You don't do
on
that.
The Cape.
You know what else
like
doesn't
an unwritten
happen?
rule.
Ever else doesn't happen very often? YD losing.
Pancho Ruiz fouls that one off. He's the right-handed batter for the Harbor Hawks, who starts off the top of the 8th.
Now,
Mr. Berman?
And when I say losing, I mean they are getting slapped by a vengeful Wareham Gatemen team that has put up a 9 spot on the YD Red Sox in the bottom of the 7th.
There, 9-3. The 1-0, or the 0-1 to Pancho Ruiz. Did he go?
Yes, he did.
0-2 count now to the catcher out of San Diego State.
Now, a lot of guys come here with restrictions, pitching-wise. Sorry, Drake. There's a lot of guys come here with pitching restrictions where they cannot pitch back-to-back nights. They can't even pitch with 2 nights rest. Some guys have restrictions where they have to have 2 full days of rest. So to see him again is interesting.
0-2 to Pancho, 91, taking for a ball outside. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess the Georgia State coaching staff are like, do what you want.
Turn them loose.
Have fun. These guys having fun out here playing baseball.
Hey, I mean,
it's like when Cade Morris went 6 1/3. Nevada said, "No, do what you need."
And now
he's at 110
off the Team USA.
pitches. Yeah, 110 pitches.
Whatever you guys need, just throw them out there.
The 1-2 to Ruiz. He fouls that one off the umpire's head. Luckily, wearing that face mask there for
Probably the slowest swing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Talk about fighting one off. More of like just kind of sticking it out there. And what are you going to coin that one?
I would say just like not even a swing and bunt, but that's just like a loop-de through the zone, see what happens.
A loop-de through the zone. Loop-de.
Loop-de. I don't know.
LTTZ SWH, as the kids are calling it.
Start printing the T-shirts.
The 1-2 to Ruiz with nobody on, nobody out. He's the first batter at the top of the 8th for the Harbor Hawks, who trail at 3-1 here from Lowell Park, but they have 3 more hits than Cotuit. Poncho grounds that one to Ritter. Ritter comes over, makes the grab, and makes the play. That sits down Ruiz and brings up Dominic Patelli, wearing number 5 for the Harbor Hawks today. And boy, if there's one storyline you want to point to for Hyannis, those 9 hits, they just keep stranding batters, only 1 run.
Patelli's got himself a hit and a walk today, so he's another guy who's swinging the bat well, but he's been stranded twice. So
yep, Hyannis needing something down to their last 5 outs. Patelli, first pitch he sees, that one's roped into right field, and it's down for a base hit. There's a single for Dominic Patelli, and he's got his second of the day. He's now 2 for 3 and has that walk, the aforementioned.
Okay, so how do you address the Riku Nishida situation? You don't bunt him because you're down 2.
Yeah, there's Riku stepping in the left-handed batter's box. He cleans off the plate, gives the plate a fist bump, bows to the catcher, now pulls the bat.
I would say Dom Patelli over on first has got to maybe be sent in motion at some point, try to avoid the double play.
Patelli's got 5 steals on the year.
He was caught earlier, of course, but
good 5 for 6. Caught on a pickoff move.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe that's correct.
Yes, it was a pickoff move.
Yeah. First pitch to Riku. That's grounded to the right side, right at the shortstop, or make it the second baseman, Tommy Troy, who flips to first and makes the out. So it moves Patelli into scoring position. Sometimes the words thing can be an issue.
It's been an expedition on the base pass for the Hawks tonight.
Kind of like the Expedition League almost, with 10 hits but only 1 run.
I heard there's good baseball.
The Expedition League.
What do you know about the Expedition League?
Well, I happen to work in the Expedition League. It's actually the exact opposite. It was just a lot of offense and bad pitching.
Oh, so not good baseball.
Yeah, just bad baseball. Coming to the plate is Mitch Jebb. The lefty, Mitch Jebb, is 1 for 4 today, batting .298 on the season. And he's got Dom Patelli at second base with 2 down at the top of the 8th and takes a beautiful 80-mile-an-hour breaking pitch for a strike.
That thing came across the plate outside, or near the plate outside, then just dipped back the last second to catch a strike. Really a tough pitch to do much with, never mind put in play for a hit.
At the very least, the Hawks have flipped the lineup for the top of the 9th, even if Jebb can't get anything out of it. But, well, hey.
Would have been top of the order due up for the 9th anyway.
You never know.
Ben Johnson stands at 6'3", 175. There are a couple of Johnsons who pitch on this team. Ben, the bigger Johnson of the 2. The 0-1 to Mitch Jebb in the left-handed batter's box. Eyes Dom Patelli at second, comes home and he balked.
Wow.
Fired 91 right down the pipe on the 0-1. Won't matter, though. He balked, and wait a second, nope, they're not going to reverse it. Dom Patelli's at third base.
I see what you did there.
That's a callback, remember, from earlier?
Yeah, that's only in porn, though, where they say balk and then say, never mind.
Yeah, we talked about it for a second. It wasn't really a balk. What'd you see, a balk?
Well,
or did I?
I may have jumped the gun. Yeah. So let's just send everybody back where they belong.
That was what, like a 6-7 minute discussion?
Yeah. 90 feet away stands a run that would cut the lead in half for Cotuit. The 0-1 bounces in the dirt. Mickness is blocking it again. It blocks it again.
He has saved the game. He has saved the game. This would be, at the very least, a tie game with a lesser catcher behind the plate. He's been phenomenal, just like that catcher we saw in Bourne not too long ago.
Now 1-1 to Mitch Jebb. Johnson's fastball sits 87 to 91.
Yep.
Throws a curveball, slider, and a changeup. It's a 4-pitch arsenal. The 1-1 to Jebb. Mitch skies that one to left field. Camping out under it is Kern, and Kern will make the play. The Harbor Hawks, folks, you won't believe it, they have stranded another 90 feet away. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Hyannis trails at 3-1 at Lowell Park, trying to hold Cotuit at bay and put up a few runs with their last 3 outs in the top of the 9th on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
When you need a better place to work, CapeSpace is the place to turn. In today's changing work environment, shared workspaces offer a flexible and affordable alternative to conventional office space. At CapeSpace, we offer a wide range of membership packages to suit your professional needs, complete with office amenities like high-speed Wi-Fi, coffee, printing stations, reception service, and private meeting rooms. Visit our website today to learn more.
UFOS Active Recovery. Because life keeps you on your toes. Because you want to shine when you rise. UFOM technology absorbs impact with every step, so your body doesn't have to. Because standing still gets you nowhere. Get yours today at ufos.com. Feel better. Feel the U.
Bottom of the 9th on the way here from Lowell Park, and out trots Zach Volker again, still working for the Harbor Hawks, Austin.
Yeah, he is. He's been really good to this point. Through 3 innings of shutout baseball, he's allowed just 1 base runner, has also punched out 1, which is quite the accomplishment against Cotuit because they don't strike out much, and he's done a really nice job of giving his team a chance to stay in this ballgame, which is really all you can ask from a long reliever like Volker. And speaking of Zach, our pal Zach Berman sniffs a comeback maybe over at the end of the booth over there.
We've seen the 9th inning heroics
Now what you've
before.
been smelling over there?
I'm telling you, I'm smelling some heroism in the top of the 9th. Heroism. Who's going to be the hero?
There's a lot of words in that old thesaurus. That is not the one that I thought was coming next. No sirree.
Who's going to be the hero? I don't know. But it's going to be someone.
Maybe Tito Flores?
Well, Tito can only draw the game 1 run closer. Look for Shaniel or Hyannis. Hyannis.
Stepping to the plate here for the Cotuit Kettleers to open up the bottom of the 8th inning, and taking ball 1 at 90 inside is old Z. Cole. No, it's not. It's Scott.
This guy who's 3 for 3 today.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah, well, I'll do it for you.
Hello, Victor Scott II. Long time no see. He watches 89 for a fastball outside.
Well, what's interesting is Mitch Jebb of the Hawks has been up to the plate 5 times today. This is Scott's 4th at-bat in the leadoff spot. Both those guys leadoff hitters, and Scott's team's winning the game.
Yeah.
You don't see that a lot.
By a couple. Scott takes a strike, 80 miles an hour, off speed, solid stuff from Zach Volker.
Rare to see the losing team's leadoff hitter get more plate appearances than the team that's ahead.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, Hyannis has bat a whole time through the lineup more.
Yeah. You don't see that a lot.
No. There's another strike in the off-speed from Volker. How about a guy in Zach Volker who's doing this in front of scouts that aren't just MLB scouts, they're other colleges.
Right.
I mean,
he's not playing necessarily. He is playing for his future 2 years from now, but
Right.
he's also trying to figure out who wants him for next year.
Guy in the transfer portal looking for a new home. Scott will wave a bug out of his face and then foul the 2-2 off. That was impressive.
Man, every foul ball gets that shattered glass sound effect.
Yeah. Doesn't get old after a while, does it?
Quite the contrary.
I know. 3-1 game here. Harbor Hawks trying to collect 3 outs, go to the top of the 9th, and do something with the bats. At 2-2. Let's go eye-level breaking ball outside at 79. Look, they've been doing something. They've been doing a lot with the bats.
Yeah.
Just
not in succession.
No. Haven't been able to put up more than the 1 run they've garnered. Now the 3-2. Payoff to Scott II. That's inside. 92 with the fastball. Volker just misses by a couple of inches. And that'll send Scott to first base.
Not the guy you want to put on.
What a day for him. Yeah, no kidding. He started 4 for 31 coming into this game with a 129 batting average. His batting average is now 206.
Triple, single walk.
Have a day. Tommy Troy follows him. He's 0 for 3.
Oh.
That's a dichotomy. Be fun if he would ground into a double play here. Let's go ahead and manifest that. Volker sats, deals.
Well, Scott's going to try and run to
called strike, 88 miles an hour. And, yeah, Scott danced over there at first base. And, well, the sun will not be an issue for either of these teams. We're going to play a full 9 at Lowell Park.
It looks like the rain is slated to miss us as well now. So,
oh boy, story of my life. The 0-1, there's a bunt foul. Now 0-2 on Tommy Troy. Hopefully he tries to bunt it again. I don't think he will.
I wouldn't put it past
no,
the Kettleers, but yeah, I'd say it's less than likely.
Boy, it'd catch everybody off guard, and it would slightly roll foul.
That'd be ideal.
The 0-2. Riku Nishida's practicing the double play, just in case. Volker fires home. That one's skied on the infield. Will it stay in play? Poncho's camped out. Ruiz in foul territory makes the catch. That's the first one down. Tommy Troy, the Stanford product, will head back to the dugout and give way to Tyler Johnson.
Not an easy play to make for the catcher. They oftentimes have trouble with that, but Poncho does everything right, flips the mask, establishes a position under the ball, and watches it into the mitt with 2 hands.
Tyler Johnson, one of 3 Johnsons on this team. They recruit with purpose. As Volker, the righty, sees the lefty Johnson. First pitch to him was Scott over at first base. We'll see if Scott goes. Volker just held the ball there for a while, which is really smart, as 89 fastball misses inside. Got John Cabral commenting today, too, talking about the Patriot Cup. First ever one, 2004, went to Hyannis on a walk-off single by Joe Holland. Thanks to John for listening in today. What a baseball game we played here as well. That one, a breaking ball in the dirt, now a 2-0 count. Just quintessential baseball. Not even the, it's a great ballpark in general, but 4th of July weekend, packed house, a 3-1 pitcher's duel of a game where the Harbor Hawks have garnered 10 hits, but Cotuit has gotten outs at the right time when they need them in the most clutch moments. Volker pumps a strike at 89, fastball outside half the plate.
And Tyler Johnson, of course, one of the 3 Kettleer RBIs, and it could turn out to be quite a crucial one, as you know how to explain the dichotomy between hits and runs. A solo home run will do that to you.
Yeah. 2-1 to Johnson. Dish over to first base, checks Scott back, who's in safely. Johnson, Coastal Carolina University out of Conway, South Carolina. That's the largest Conway in America. You know what the second largest is?
Arkansas.
Conway, Arkansas. Namesake of Conway Twitty.
See, when I think Coastal Carolina, do you know what a Chanticleer is?
Chicken, the 2-1.
Yes, it is.
Volker deals it home. That one's fried out. Foul ball. Out of play to the right side, but boy, did Johnson ever get a piece of that one.
He turned it around in a split second. Just a little bit on the early side, but this is big, because if you can retire Johnson, then wipes out any chance of the potential double play and having to worry about the base runner Scott nearly as much.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down, and Volker goes 74 above the head of Johnson. Now 3-2 count, 1 down, runner on first, and you want to avoid at all costs the walk here. What do you go to if you're Volker?
I go back to that breaking pitch, that 80 mile per hour, looked like a changeup.
Payoff pitch. Oh, Volker will toss back to Hyannis at first and
Volker
skips the ball there. Yeah, Hyannis. Got to be a heck of a catcher, the way he blocked that one up. Now the 3-2 to the lefty Johnson. Righty on lefty. Guy who originally played at Eastern Oklahoma State. Volk gets a call, but he likes from Ruiz. From the stretch. The payoff pitch. Scott doesn't go, and that ball's fouled away to the left. I thought for sure at 3-2, even with only 1 out, the speed of Scott, he'd head down to second base. Possible strike him out, throw him out, but no.
You will see guys do that a lot on 3-2 with 1 away, especially with their team in control of the ball game.
Right.
But I think Scott's having such a tough time telling when Volker's going to go home because
Yeah.
Zach keeps changing up his timing on him, and that's how he's kept him at bay in 2 times.
That ball sky to the outfield. Tito Flores, Cole McConnell, both converging. Flores calls it off and makes the catch.
Well, that will play.
It won't if you're Tyler Johnson, but it will for the Harbor Hawks as Brooks Baldwin comes to the plate out of North Carolina, Wilmington. His junior season, he bat .347, had an on-base percentage of .406 and a .621 slugging with 11 home runs and 39 RBI. Also stole 16 bags. Baldwin stands in with a .338 ERA on Cape Cod. That will play.
That was a phenomenal escape pitch there from Zach Volker. In on the hands, fastball, and absolutely jammed one of the best hitters in this Kettleer lineup.
First pitch to Baldwin. From Volker, there's a fastball 89 miles an hour inside for a ball. 1-0 count now.
He just cannot get a good jump off first base. We've seen him on twice with Zach Volker on the mound, and Volker's just done a sensational job. He throws over a couple times, changes up his delivery. He'll come set. One time you can count to 3, next time it's 5, sometimes 7. You really can't get a read on it.
The 1-0 pitch. That one's grounded right side and through the glove of Riku Nishida. Should say just under the diving glove, as they'll likely score that one a hit.
Yeah. Riku just couldn't get to it, did everything he could, but that's just a well-hit baseball by Baldwin.
Put him on the corners. And now 2 down. Brooks Baldwin with another hit. The guy leads the Cape League in RBI and is up there in the standings for batting average as well. Kyle Carros comes to the plate.
21 combined stolen bases between these two on the base paths right now. And, I mean, you can absolutely let Baldwin take the extra base, but then that winds up becoming an issue.
Coach Ohm is going to come to the mound and have a conversation with Volker.
Yeah, Ohm's a guy who's been to the big leagues, is pitching in every scenario you could imagine through the minors. So he knows how to calm a pitcher down. First and third, 2 outs is nothing new to him. And for the young right-hander, I'm sure Kevin will calm him down, go over a couple things, try to get the Hawks out of this inning.
Harbor Hawks trying to strand a couple. And that's what's been done to them all day. Zach Volker currently at 3 2/3. He's thrown 50 pitches. What a day out of the pen for Volk, man.
Really, what more could you ask for the guy? Almost 4 innings. Even if a run gets across, he's really been dominant.
He went 3 innings against Wareham on June 16th in what was almost a throwaway game by that point. Wareham had already put up 11 runs. And this is his longest outing so far on the year, and this guy still no earned runs on his season and has just done everything the Harbor Hawks have asked of him.
You really do feel for him because, look, the Harbor Hawks have had 10 hits, and there's a real chance that if a couple balls bounce a little bit differently or a couple of bats go a little bit differently, he's working with a lead. But he's done everything in his power to this point to keep the Harbor Hawks in this baseball game.
Well, Hyannis had a runner at second and a runner at third with nobody out. Couldn't do anything with it. That's just been the story of today. First pitch from Volker to Carros, strike. 79 of the breaking ball. Now the 0-1 to Carros, who's out of UCLA, starting at third base. Pretty balanced hitter. Goes oppo and pulls 44% of the time, both the same percentage. He sees one, he skies one to right field. Going back and camping is Shaniel. Shaniel will make the catch, and that will retire the bottom of the 8th for the Cotuit Kettleers. When we come back, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks have one last chance with 2, 3, and 4 up. They need a couple of runs on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
Gannon's Tavern is the home of incredible wings, handcrafted cocktails, ice-cold beer, and Keno. Their innovative tavern menu features seafood, great sandwiches, steaks grilled to perfection, and stunning specialty dishes. There's no better place to watch your favorite New England pro football team than Gannon's Tavern, in their large bar or outside on their covered deck, complete with TV and sound. Gannon's Tavern, 959 Burses Way, Hyannis. Like them on Facebook and Instagram.
See you soon at Gannon's Tavern.
Well, maybe you're like me, and your day doesn't technically start until the first sip of coffee. Maybe you're also like me, and the rush to work takes too long to wait for your kitchen's barista. Well, that's where locally brewed Honeydew Coffee comes in, with 3 locations on Route 28 in Dennisport, West Yarmouth, and right here in Hyannis. It's the most convenient way to start the day. And maybe you say to yourself, I don't like coffee. Well, the family of Honeydew is not phased. They offer iced tea, lemonade, and sparkling water, accompanied by the best pastries, donuts, and sandwiches on the Cape. Skip the line on the high prices at the fast food chains and enjoy the local flavor of Honeydew coffee in Austin, Dakota. As we go to the top of the 9th inning, the Harbor Hawks needing 2 runs. They'll face the 6th pitcher they've seen for Cotuit today.
And it appears to be T.J. Brock, the right-hander from Cincinnati, Ohio, by way of Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Thank you, Zach Berman. He's made 7 appearances this season. He's Cotuit's closer, 3 saves, 7 1/3 innings, and 13 punch-outs.
Well, you know, he wasn't Cotuit's only closer. They lost maybe the best pitcher in this league just today. They've lost 3 guys in the last 24 hours.
And who was that best pitcher in the league?
Including the strikeout leader in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Jackson Kelly, had 25 strikeouts to this point. Kelly with a .56 ERA as well, was lights out, and now he's gone.
That's too bad.
You hate to see it for those guys.
Yeah, but now, I mean, they have more than...
Well, Brock, too. Yeah, pumps 93 to 97. 3-pitch guy. Fastball 93 to 97 from the right side. And the slider 84 to 88. So those are the 2 you'll really see from him. Occasional changeup 79 to 83. Brock has worked a 3.78 ERA at Ohio State in the spring, 16 2/3, allowing just 13 hits, but he did walk 10, striking out 23. Feel the way through the darkness.
Well, it's who else would you want up in this situation than 2, 3, and 4? It is Flores, Hyannis, and Shaniel with Christian Moore, Cole McConnell, and maybe do you see Jacob Campbell if the game reaches that point in the top of the 9th?
It's possible.
Lots in play here for the Hawks, but first you're just worried about your leadoff guy of the inning getting on. So Tito Flores, his job here is to work the count and hopefully get on base. I mean, Bloopin' and Blast ties us up.
Right. If you're listening online, go to Mixler.com to hear this top of the 9th inning. Live on YouTube or Mixler, where it's uninterrupted audio. As we come to the top of the 9th, Harbor Hawks need something. Down 3-1. They have 10 hits compared to Cotuit's 7.
Let's go, TJ!
And Tito Flores steps to the plate. This is game 19. The winner or the loser of this game, in the long run, won't matter that much.
Yeah,
but it still feels like
yeah.
such a heavy situation.
I mean, the crosstown rivalry of the Patriot Cup, for the fans at least. I know the players are in and out, so they might not get as wrapped up in it, but the fans are very invested for sure.
First pitch from Brock to Tito Flores, called ball, 84 miles an hour.
You'd have to think Tito would have a little bit of intel on Brock, not only just because they both play in the Big Ten, but because Brock's teammate, Ethan Hammerberg, is with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Wonder if he said something in the dugout.
Wonder if Hammerberg is in the dugout right now. The 1-0 to Flores. He takes his strike, 96 miles an hour, high fastball.
This guy is a legit closer. There's a reason he's in this spot here. I mean, he's only allowed 3 hits and 2 walks on the year, so very tough to put something together against Brock.
The 1-1. Flores checked his swing. Did he go? And they'll say that he did not. It is a 2-1 count now.
The Hawks have put together rallies against difficult pitchers before this season. It's not a new commodity to them of sorts.
Something about the late innings and the Harbor Hawks facing new relievers has worked out well for these guys on multiple occasions. 2-1 to Flores. Cuts and misses. He got a piece into the glove of Mickness on the 87-mile-an-hour slider.
We'll just go ask Jake Peppers about the Harbor Hawks after the 8th inning.
I don't think Jake Peppers ever wants to hear the words Harbor and Hawks in the same sentence again.
I would say so.
Nightmare-inducing. Now the 2-2 to Flores. Trying to start something for the Harbor Hawks, down 2. The pitch. That is a breaking ball high. It hit him. It hit Flores. Couldn't see it from our angle. The umpire signals over that it got Flores in the forearm. He'll trot down to first base. And now Hyannis comes to the plate with no outs.
Maybe
somehow in this game, the tying run is at the plate.
Maybe someone that knows something about getting hit by pitches at the plate.
Yeah, this guy's a magnet. Been hit by 60 pitches in 3 years. Turn inside. Nothing in the line, says the Harwich manager. No mound visit. Just yelled that one from the dugout. First pitch to Hyannis. Swings and misses at the 96-mile-an-hour fastball low in the zone. Now let's say hypothetically the Harbor Hawks do find a way back in this game. They've got to finish the 9th inning. I think they will from a light standpoint, but the 9th inning has to finish. If the sun goes down on the 9th, it's over. Cotuit wins 3-1.
Correct. Yeah, you need to get the whole 9 in here.
0-1 to Hyannis. Fouled off the right side.
And more importantly, there's no extras, so even if you do tie it up, Drake, tie is the best that you could play for if you don't end up, taking the lead here.
Right.
I think you'd be pretty content with a tie right now. I certainly would.
Well, I don't think the Harbor Hawks, having stranded as many as they have, will be content with anything but a win right now. 0-2 to Hyannis. High heat.
97.
That's chest level at 97, taken for a ball.
Brock is impressive. I know we've seen some great relievers, but the fastball that he has tonight has some extra juice behind it.
Brock is 0-1 this season.
Oh, that's too bad.
Got a 1-2. He's old. Born in 1999. Where were you?
You know what his full name? You know what TJ stands for?
Tommy John.
Thomas J. Brock. They don't give the J.
So you don't know what the TJ
1-2 to Hyannis. Here's the pitch. Hyannis takes low and inside. Almost hit him.
Yeah.
Had Hyannis stay here, Riku. Wear it. Wear it. It would be the 61st hit by pitch in Hyannis' career. Could have been.
A cake or something when he gets to 100.
Now a 2-2. Oh, he'll get at this rate. He'll give it next week. A 2-2 from Brock to Hyannis. Hyannis fouls that one to the right, fighting him off.
Right into the dugout.
Yeah.
Somebody in the dugout has requested that Brock hits Hyannis.
I don't know if that is requesting or saying that did hit him in regards to the 1-2 pitch.
I think it's.
I don't think it did.
Well, it's a pitch later, so.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Now 2-2 count and nobody down. Runner on first base for the Harbor Hawks. Tying run at the plate in Illinois' Justin Hyannis. Batting the 4-hole for the Illini this season. Now the 2-2 pitch from TJ Brock. Deals at home. Hyannis fouls that one off the right side, out of play again. Boy, he is getting every piece of that breaking ball right now. You can only think that Brock goes back to the fastball here.
And the good thing is Hyannis is a little bit ahead of the breaking ball, which might tell you that he is in an okay spot to catch up to the fastball at 96. Breaking ball is at 87, so not too far off from timing that fastball up.
The 2-2 to Justin Hyannis. Brock comes home. That's a breaking ball high.
It's a great take. What a take. I mean, the plate discipline is at an elite level, and now for Hyannis.
A lot of trust in the home plate blue on that one as well.
That
was chest level, but we've seen that called twice now. The 3-2 pitch from Brock to Justin Hyannis. The payoff comes home. Hyannis swings and misses on the 87-mile-an-hour slider inside.
That is an absolutely devastating slider. What a great pitch. And you can't rip Hyannis for that one. Looks like it's coming over the middle of the plate, and then it just dips low and in, and nothing you could do about it.
Hello, Nolan Shaniel, the FAU product, comes to the plate. Lefty on righty here against TJ Brock. Shaniel has Tito Flores over at first base to work with. First pitch he sees, sky to left field. It's going deep. It's going back. And it's caught at the warning track. Oh, my goodness. Justin, make it. Nolan Shaniel put a charge into that baseball. And everybody in this ballpark held their breath just for Kern to make the catch about 5 feet short of the wall.
Well, that's a metal bat home run if I've seen one. But for Shaniel, it's a good piece of the ball. Just didn't get every stitch of it. Nearly did. Now you're down to your final out.
Every single Hyannis fan in the ballpark stood straight up. Boy, I don't know how he missed. What part of the bat he missed. First pitch to Christian Moore. Swings and misses at a breaking ball outside in the dirt. Not close. Was fooled by the breaking ball that TJ Brock gave him. Moore, product of Tennessee. 0 for 3 today. 5 for 18 on his young season. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Again, that breaking ball, not sure what Moore is seeing, but the swing was not close.
Well, what he's doing is he's looking for a fastball, and he's not getting the fastball, so he's way over the top and way out in front of it. You have to be able to make the adjustment. If I'm Brock, I'm just throwing that pitch again.
Yeah. Moore is trying to tie this game up. The 0-2 to Christian Moore. Swing and a miss. The slider again in the dirt. It wipes out Christian Moore and wipes out the Hawks' 9-game unbeaten streak. Your final score is Cotuit 3, Hyannis 1. And you're not going to want to know the final stat line for these two teams. The Harbor Hawks put up 10 hits, only mustered 1 run. They had 1 error. For Cotuit, 3 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors in the field. The Harbor Hawks had opportunity after opportunity in this ball game and just couldn't plate the runs when they had the chance.
Well, all good things must come to an end. The streak without losing comes to a close, and you know the best thing about streaks? You can always start a new one. But this is a tough pill to swallow. You have so many opportunities, and you just can't push those runs across when you need them most. And, of course, it's to your crosstown rivals. But the best part about baseball, you got a game every other night. So,
Austin, it feels like the 3-1 loss here, obviously it stings, but just stings twice more because of the way that it went down.
Yeah, I mean, there's worse ways to lose, but when in a game where you honestly really outplayed them in a lot of aspects.
They chased pitcher after pitcher.
They chased the pitchers
Cotuit
out.
threw 6 guys.
They made everybody work, Drake, and Cotuit made more errors in the field, made more mistakes than you. You out-hit them. You had more traffic on the bases
3.
the entire game.
Yeah.
Had more walks. You pitched well. And if you're the Hawks, yeah, it stings, and obviously you'd like to win, but I guess it's better than a blowout loss, or kind of. It's not. It's not even like it's a relapse as to what they were doing a couple weeks ago, where they lost a couple of tough games. 8-1, and one game they have 11 runs. It's not 3-1 loss is a loss. I mean, you'll take it, move on, and I think for the guys, it gives them some motivation to get back on the wagon for tomorrow.
There is a very clear roll-a-bump limited player of the game, and it's not close. Zach Volker is the roll-a-bump limited player of the game, coming out of the bullpen for the Harbor Hawks, going 4 innings of 2-hit work. Walked 1, struck out 1, faced 15 batters in that span. Zach Volker was lights out and has now gone 12 innings without an earned run.
Well, in a game in which he entered where you're down 3-0, he kept you in it, and he gave you every possible chance to win, which is all you can ask from a relief pitcher to come in and work multiple innings. And the biggest part is he just saved your bullpen for the rest of the week, because you now have a game tomorrow. You have a couple more games before you finally get an off day.
Tuesday.
Yeah, and Volker completely just saved you from having to dig deeper into your bullpen. Now you head to tomorrow with pretty much everybody available. That is huge.
Well, let's get the heck out of here and back to McKeon tomorrow. Drake Toll alongside Austin Dakuda, Zach Berman, thank you for listening to today's game. Also like to thank our entire crew of sideline reporter Bria Losick, our producers Ella Gibson, Abby Stokes, and Mike Maynard, director of broadcasting Harrison Myers. Your final score, Hyannis 1, Cotuit 3. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.